plan on it, considering that I've seen there. It's unfortunate that I didn't get to partake in it, but hey, I'm not going to cry home about it.
Joey, I just want to mention, that's Satya. Apparently Satya's here sick, bro. No, seriously, though, I do want to mention, guys, that Tilray is running. Shout out to Jam Locky. I missed it earlier when you mentioned, but Assassino, if I can show the chart here on Tilray, TLRY is up 27%. It had a good day. Yeah, Katina, man, it's running because your boy Donald wants to well, he wants to change the scheduling there. Anyway, it had a good day. It looks like on Monday, kind of maybe a down day today, but we definitely held lows, and up we go again. So TLRY, hey, man, it's a dollar stock. So if this thing runs, I'm not saying it's going to run, but, you know, you could size it.
Is Aurora at 1,300 yet?
Let's check. It's at $5, Joey.
Oh, all right, we're almost there.
It had a good day Monday as well, but it's not breaking out like Tilray for whatever reason. ACB not having the same kind of price action TLRY is having. So anyway, guys, it is 2:01. The big kahunas are locked and loaded. Joey's nice enough to cover for me on the rundown today. Got to take my old man up to the cardiologist, and hopefully it's all good there.
A new high here.
Another new high,
yeah.
All right, Joey, all right. All right, see everybody tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace, guys.
So, welcome back, everybody. Oh, okay, my mic is on.
Did you turn it on this time? I've got mine on, no worries.
It's on, it's not muted.
Well, no one wants to hear it, no one wants to hear it.
But I just realized I had to double check to actually make sure that was true. So mic is back on. Bullish was insane and very different. As we have Bostic talking right now, I don't know what he's saying. It doesn't really matter. Learned some things using, and I got a shout out to, I think it was Obi that showed me the 5-second chart. Shout out to eSignal as well.
I showed you that chart on eSignal.
Well, I mean, the first person that ever actually used this in front of me was Obi.
Oh, okay.
But like, it was very interesting going back and looking at this on this time frame, because it kind of demonstrated a few things that were different about Bullish, which we'll get to for sure. As I said, don't know what Bostic is doing. You're going to see some stuff going on behind us. Why? Because we are way closer to moving to down here than I think I realized. We might be there in a couple of days, Sean.
No.
I don't know, they're moving fast.
No.
Like,
I had the Palantir hat on. Okay.
There. It's way too hot outside. I shouldn't have gone for a walk.
I went for a walk too, and I was like, oh my God, I went to go get a coffee. The coffee is like dripping in like just like ice moisture.
Like I came back and I didn't even feel good. Like the air conditioning hits you and then you start to cool down, and it's like it's relief, but it's also like anyway, so make sure I'm in the right chat here. Yeah, Bullish was bullish. For a minute. Well, it was more than a minute.
It was enough time.
It halted. No, it's the only difference between Bullish and the other ones was that the other Figma Coreweave Circle is that they bounced. Like when they pulled back, they bounced and then went again and then broke the low.
Yeah.
But it's the 5-second chart that was actually interesting, because it actually retested the open at 90. You got the open 90 price, it went to 97, and then it retested the open at 90 and almost broke, which none of them ever did. So I think that's the first sign that maybe also the fact that it broke the low and it's under the low already. I think these aren't nearly as strong as they used to be, but who cares? Like the trade is still, I mean, it's still a good trade. It's just that maybe the exuberance is running out a little bit, because I kind of figured, like, you knew it might do a pullback. I didn't expect it to pull back within 10 seconds to the initial price. And almost, if it breaks that low, it could have halted down if it breaks this low, because that was 97. But it didn't. And that's all that matters. The other thing is, I found out that all of the information that we show you here at Real Trading, like pretty much everything that we show, you can get it all at eSignal.
Yeah. I called it up. I've been talking about that for a while.
Well, I might not be entitled for one of the things you see. You'd have to look at Sean's.
Yeah, look,
I'll have to add the entitlement for it. But we have it here, so I don't really need it.
Yeah, no, Neil was sitting here, and I was like, you know what, man? We can get all this information on eSignal. All you have to do is open up this market depth, and you see where it is in here? So these are the taps right here. So 85, 83, and it starts to morph in. These are the paired off. These is what's remaining. It's not working now. But the next time there's a halted stock, I'll show you guys how that works. Because Neil, I had this up, Neil had our P-Pro indicator up, and we were just sitting here basically just shooting the shit, waiting for this thing to open up. And then when it did, oh man, when it did, it was something else. We took out way too many shares right into here. And again, I just got blinded by the P&L. Thank you, Joseph.
I got you, man.
Why'd you stop for?
Too much muscle up there.
Too much muscle up there. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't want to hurt your hands, you know. No, and then all these outs appear, 106, 108, 110. And by the way, I sent Joseph a message. I told him, what a great attitude, like to miss a trade maybe by a keystroke or something like that, and then to have the attitude that I'll just get it next time, like that is something, that's all that matters. Like that shows really, you know, strength in the mental game.
It happens.
In the mental game, because I would have jumped off. I would have just gone to whatever. How high is this thing? 13 floors. And then I would have looked down and decided not to jump off. But that would have been my bad mentality there. So I wanted.
It's not that tall, is it? Is it?
Well, it's more than 13, I would say.
You know what's? It's kind of weird. Like I walk past here every single day.
There's always another trade.
In the subway, and I never pay attention to it. But
no, I don't. I'm thinking it's more than 20, but.
But to your point, it's so true.
Yeah.
Like yesterday I told the story of like one of a similar type of trade that got missed for what I thought was a kind of a bunk reason, and I was so mad that I literally revenge traded 3 months later. 3 months later, and I was still peeved about it and pissed off. I was pissed off about it and revenge traded. But like it teaches you something that you're just like whatever. You can't. Some things are binary, and when it's binary, there's no point getting emotional about it.
It's just like it rips the Band-Aid off on those IPOs. You know, it's like you get nervous. I think you're the one that said it. Well, it'll be over with soon or whatever. And it's like as soon as it opens, the trade really, Neil, I mean, because we have 2 halts in here, and those are each 5 minutes. Yeah. Or are they 10 minutes in this case? I think they're 5. But right there, so it opened up, and then it was really just active trading for maybe 30 or 40 seconds. And then all of a sudden there, I went long again at 92.50, just ahead of 90. Then it finally broke and we were able to get out actually a pretty good order there. So just so you know the slippage, my stop was 89.99. I got filled at 88.17. So I had $1.70 in slippage there.
Oh, so just another thing. I held on to a really, really small amount of shares through the low break because I wanted to see what the slippage would be like underneath the bottom. I was kind of in fact-checking mode because I wanted to see, but then it halted down underneath because I wanted to see what the 85 break was going to be like. And unfortunately, it just opened at the 85. I was very curious what the slippage would be underneath the price, so I held onto a very small amount of shares.
Yeah.
But I think getting information is important, but
people are saying BMNR is tanking, but it's not really. I mean,
no,
it is tanking. It's tanking, but over time. This is not so super dramatic move. I mean, it sucks that you're down about 15% or more from the highs of $71. But again, like I think Neil and I and all of us, I'm not sure about the midday show, but we've talked about it. You could take your profits, and I talked about this with Brian Shannon, and Ethereum is going up, you see? So it's like take your profits in BMNR, and if you believe in ETH or the crypto game, you can hold it on USDC. That's part of the best part about crypto these days is Tether and USDC has become pretty stable and very cheap to hold on. And in fact, I believe on Coinbase, you even get some sort of a yield holding USDC if you opt into it. But at the end of the day, you can get out of one and into the other, or if you're in this for fun, because this is more what this is, you know, it's like a roller coaster more than Ethereum, I would say. Get out of half, get out of something for BMNR. But yeah, it is making a move down. If we do hear anything, I mean, people are saying that maybe there was an offering or something like that. So when there's an offering, I'll just go over to Circle and show you. It happens pretty immediate. Like this was yesterday's offering in the after hours for Circle. It went down $13 as they offered 10 million shares. So if that ever to happen to BMNR, you'd get a price that would satisfy 10 million shares to the downside. And that would be like...
That might not be good.
That'd be probably in the 40s or something. Yeah. So yeah, you don't want an offering to be dropped here. But I do think though, if they do offer, Neil, then you should try to pick the bottom because they're just going to put that money back in.
That's the game. That's the game. Take the profits and make the next run. Actually, this is something that we talked about. My physio. Well, I'm not going to physio anymore. My physio guy likes MSTR, and I was like, well, you got to play the game then because you've got to, like, maybe you have to find somewhere to take profit on these and then buy the dip. Otherwise, you're not really. Or you could just be in the buy and hold mode. But what I really don't like, though, is I didn't think BMNR would actually pull back to red like this without ETH falling. And ETH isn't really doing all that bad. The other side of the coin.
Base.
No, Coinbase.
What, you were going over there?
Yeah, I was going.
I always say that when you say coin, and this time you went there. That's hilarious.
Well, Yeah, I mean, I think it's not surprising, but Coinbase, which is direct competition here, effectively similar chart. Like it ran early, but when you didn't have the hold of the parabolic move, you were basically you were up for minutes, effectively on bullish. And ever since then, it's been rather bearish, for lack of a better term. And Coinbase just continued its bear rally because of that. It's still up on the day because of all the exuberance, but really, at the end of the day, you kind of can see that some of these IPOs can be, when you get to the point of like these IPOs finally getting to market, they're doing it for a reason. It starts to get a little bit top heavy. That's where the concern, like I said, the only concern I had with that bullish trade was the fact that it retested, before going to that halt up, it retested the open, which the other ones did not do. They just went straight up. Like at no point were you like, oh, this actually could be bad. Like there was a moment where it's like it popped, you're like, oh, take profit, and then it was right back, and I'm like, oh, if this breaks, but it didn't. Let's see what you guys want to talk about. I'm going to make a bold prediction. Bullish, ETH, bullish, BMNR, ETH, and
no, I don't think all those would be on there. I think there'll be Tesla. Tesla seems to be popular. What I was going to say about this BMNR is they are, in order for them to raise capital, they are going to have to offer again at some point, I would guess, if they're going to try to buy more Ethereum, right? I mean, that's what's happened with MSTR. So I didn't want to throw shade on the fact that when they have an offering, and they have in the past, that's why I was saying as soon as the offering hits, if you're not in, is when you want to get in after that, once it bases out. Because, if they are putting the money in there, and you do believe that Ethereum is going to 15,000 or whatever, I think that was one of the most recent predictions there by Piper or something today, then yeah, you do want to buy said dips. Okay, very, very excited for this next announcement, and that is that Joe is filling in for Sharif over at the screen. Neil, just look to your right. That's not Sharif.
That is not Sharif, you are correct.
To the right, guys. There we go. I can't see if we're on new screens here now, but guys, welcome to the afternoon rundown. The segment chose by you guys, so make sure you guys get in the chat. Join Sharif and I and put those dollar signs and then the ticker. But we got a lot rocking and rolling today, and we're going to start this off with BLSH. Bullish, the IPO. Share price offering at around $33, $32 to $33, opening up and a tap as high as $89. The boys were trading this. We've been talking about it a lot. But with all the regulatory clarity, I think we got the green light to go in a lot of this crypto space. Boys, what do you think about it?
Bullish, never heard of this stock.
Never heard of it.
We have to research this.
Well, on the long term,
I feel like we just talked about it.
I don't know. It feels like it's getting a little top heavy with some of this stuff.
I mean, okay.
Like that's sort of the thing. Like Circle, like you can't talk about this without talking about Circle. We can get to the nitty gritty of how it moved, but if you looked at what happened with Circle, and I'll throw you the daily chart up. Like that was just a different beast. Because as big of a move as Circle was on day one, on day two, it effectively did the same thing. And then it consolidated, and then it did it again, and then it actually had its best day over a week later. I'm not sure I have that feeling about Bullish. As a matter of fact, I don't have that feeling about Bullish. Like I'm not sure that we're going to get something like this, everybody. And speaking of Circle, I think that could be in a little bit of trouble at this shelf after earnings. But it's turned into, hey, the trade is good, and then the continuation was great. Like part of what made Circle so good was the markets rallying into the highs. Like everything was exuberant during its run. We're at the highs and feeling a little bit more top-ish.
We just broke 90 again.
And we just lost. Oh, upside?
No, but bullish. Down.
Down again.
Yeah.
See, and this is the problem. And yet this, which a daily chart doesn't really matter, is continuously breaking down. Like I don't have the same feels here that we're going to get a multi-day run on Bullish. As for just a quick note on the trade, as I was saying before, like the use of a sub-minute chart, like this is
Apple's ripping.
This is a 5-second chart, is pretty useful in terms of finding out like what actually happened in the move, where support turned out to be, and where the key levels are. Like it is rejecting heavily. You can see it on 1 minute, but it's rejecting heavily that 90, and it really wants to test that 90. I'm not sure what would have happened if it broke on that retest of 90 even, but I can tell you that this move down in a 5-second, it was trending like it was going to go into the uphold. and then within a couple of seconds, it was right back $7 down. So if you weren't covering your butt behind, you get yourself in trouble. Obviously, the trade was fantastic. There's no question about it. Bullish was great. But going forward, I feel like we've got a temporary top here based on this.
All right. Yeah, just real quick. I just wanted to quickly just show you guys about Coinbase. There's Adara. Okay, so Apple readies robots, lifelike Siri, and security tech and AI push. So
yes.
Lifelike Siri and robots and security in AI push. So Apple is getting ready to do something right now. So we've been waiting for that kind of a play. Andre, can you please test my earpiece when you get a second? Because okay, perfect, it works. So there is no reporting on Benzinga about this. I just want to show you the only other example that I can think of right now, and I don't know the metrics. I don't know how many customers Bullish has as opposed to Coinbase when it IPO'd or anything like that, but this was Coinbase's IPO. It was a great one. This is a weekly chart, but you could just see what happened in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it was 6 straight down weeks until it finally caught a little bit of a bid where it made back almost everything. So I was just going to say, let it settle down there. That's what Coinbase looked like on its IPO. Robinhood IPO'd at a little bit of a different time, but still similarly, you had one. So the first week was actually red, then you had a huge move, and then this happened. So I don't know what to expect with Bullish, but if past is any indicator of present, then maybe we do go back in a little bit there on Bullish and get closer to the reasonable price of 37 that it was supposed to come out as. Remember, it was 33 to 37, price at the higher end, and then boom goes the dynamite right there on Bullish. And I was actually sad that I wasn't here. Like Neil said, I went for a walk, called the wife and everything. But once it ripped back up through $90 there, I think we got to watch out for that top of 95. That's probably going to play. Remember, the last IPO was Figma, and it had a huge move at the end of the day, closing at its highs. So if this name gets going here, $95, it just takes an ARK or somebody like that wants to buy shares to push this thing through. The liquidity is very, very light. And when algos start to see people buying this name, they will remove these offers and let this thing fly. So I'm just telling you guys, there could be another huge move in Bullish. I would wait for 95 to break long.
Before we go on, Havana Woody has
we have so much to say.
Havana Woody asked, how do we find locates on an IPO? We can tell you how we do it real trading. We go into Metro, we put in a request.
Which is our back end.
Which is our back end here at Real Trading. And we just put in a request on pay for locates because we know they're not going to be free. I can tell you they initially were 26 cents per share, and then eventually went down to about 3.5 cents a share. So you paid, I was
gonna say, I looked for 1,000 shares this morning, and it was $500 for 1,000 shares to go short. And then I did it just moments before the IPO, turns out. Like it was probably like, it was, I paid like to exactly what you're saying, 31 cents. So $31 for 1,000 shares. I didn't use them, but.
Have them in the back pocket.
Yeah, the benefit of having shares when it's an IPO is that in case you decide to go short, the play for us is long, but the shorts could have printed just as much.
Well, yeah, that's
today.
the thing.
The short might have been a better trade.
If you're a mean reversion trader, I feel like maybe you would have.
Joe's like, shut up, guys.
Made everything. Let's go and talk about Nvidia because Nvidia did some things today. And they weren't good.
Ramble on, boys. It's all good. We love it anyways. All right, so next up we have NVDA. That was a song reference, by the way. We have NVDA. So Synopsys analyst taps NVIDIA's Omniverse to accelerate AI-driven engineering. We're in a nice rotation in what we're experiencing. It's very, very important. Now, we are reporting earnings in 2 weeks. A lot going on for NVIDIA. I'm curious to see what that report's going to bring, guys. What do you got about NVIDIA?
Well, I'm curious to see what the report brings, but the problem with NVIDIA is like the numbers. It's like when the banks report their earnings and you're like, well, so what? JP Morgan prints money. I feel like NVIDIA is getting that way too. Yeah, their margins are ridiculous, and we're going to be. I think the average person that's never seen an NVIDIA report is probably going to lose their mind if you see the numbers the first time. But I think we're past the point where we get surprised. Interestingly enough, that news story that we got today, where apparently NVIDIA was pulling back a release to be able to compete with AMD, and AMD was strong this morning and NVIDIA was not, that actually followed through past the open. And some of it, I think, has to do with, I don't like that daily chart here, the 15-minute. Some of it has to do with the brick wall that is sitting here at $184 on Nvidia. One, two, three, four, five. This is now 6 days, 5 in a row, but 6 days in total over the last 2 weeks that Nvidia has rejected $184. I mean, it might mean that it's even more sweet when it finally does break, but there's some signs that, we're kind of not as excited as we always should be with Nvidia. I think the stock's going to be fine, but I'm not one of those, it's going to make some ridiculous rally off of the next earnings. I feel as each time you got to temper your expectations a little bit here. And I wouldn't be surprised after seeing this latest test of 184, at some point, if it keeps rejecting 184, there's going to be a pullback into the low 170s, you'd have to think. So but watch out for that in the next couple of days for sure on Nvidia. It needs to break this 84 soon. Otherwise, I think we're going to get a bit of a dip.
And if you're ready for that, you're ready for this. VinFast delivered over 35,000 EVs in Q2 of 2025, marking an incredible 172% jump from last year. That brings their first half total to more than 72,000 EVs, up over 220% year over year. With stronger sales, usually in the second half, they're on pace to easily double 2024's 97,000 units. They're also crushing it on two-wheelers, with nearly 70,000 e-scooters and bikes sold in Q2, up more than 400% from a year ago. And with gas-powered two-wheelers being phased out in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City by 2026, the growth potential here with VinFast looks huge. You can find them on the Nasdaq under VFS. We'd like to thank VinFast for sponsoring this segment. All right, so yeah. I forget what I was even going to say. I was going to talk quickly about Apple here because it's not on the list. It's on the list after. But we just brought this to your attention that we did have a nice move higher here in Apple, and then it just gave it all back. So Apple, man, if you're readying these robots in Siri to get going, you could see the reaction that the market will have if and when you finally announce something. But for right now, it's a nice little pullback in. I'm still waiting for Apple to say, hey, we'll pay $30 billion for Perplexity. But I don't know if they're going to. Apple right now trying to hold VWAP. So yeah, let's just go on. BMNR, Neil and I will be talking about Nvidia probably till our faces are purple over the next couple months. All I want to tell you guys,
we got troubles with my
hopefully not purple. If so, I'll give you the Heimlich. The idea is 2 weeks from now. I think that's the big one. Obviously, it's going to be Nvidia earnings. Yeah. We'll wait for that on next 2 weeks would be 14 days, the 27th. So the evening of the 27th when Nvidia earnings come out. The thing about it is I'm not super excited about the earnings themselves because honestly, at this point, I think we already know what's baked in there. They should have that big backlog. We're going to hear about China. So I'm excited for Nvidia. I don't think that 15% sort of tariff that they have to pay to the U.S. government is going to affect anything. Because if they don't pay, then the tariffs or the availability of shipping those may not exist. So I like it. You can see what AMD is doing. It's ripping on all kind of news these days. The chip space is healthy, it seems like for now. And those are some all-dressed chips. Canadian style.
Ketchup's better.
Wait a minute. In the United States, they don't have all-dressed or ketchup.
You don't have all-dressed in the U.S.?
I believe they do not.
Here.
Can somebody confirm that you do not have all-dressed chips?
You guys have all-dressed chips. Come on.
Ramina's saying no, apparently.
Come on, you guys have all-dressed chips.
They don't got ketchup.
All right. That's fine. Ketchup, I don't think they have ketchup, Rob.
That's trash.
No.
Ketchup chips
People are saying no. People are saying yes.
Or maybe it's like a state-by-state thing.
Maybe
it's a state-by-state.
It's like one of those things like when we were in Boston, like McDonald's has like a lobster thing. You can by the way, did you see this? My wife is going crazy. There's new Shania Twain things at McDonald's now. You can Shania Twain up your meal. I have no idea what it means. She mentioned it to me, but Mark, I heard that. That was incredible. Mark said that don't impress me much. And so for that is awesome. There is always a spot on the show, although I don't suggest you take it, for you, because that was a great little pun there.
Mark does way too much around here to ever let him change role.
No. The only person unreplaceable.
Like he literally
is you, Neil.
A little bit of everything. No, it's Joseph at the top.
And Rob. I don't want to have any mixed feelings.
It's Joseph.
Around here. Joseph is...
Look at this guy's shoes, first of all.
Let me see what his shoes are.
What are we doing here?
Cobbler shoes?
I haven't worn shoes. If I'm dressed like Joe,
Italian, high-end Italian runway.
It's Joey Runway. Joey Runway.
It's Giuseppe Runway.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's go. Joe, show everybody the shoes, man.
Happy's here, boys. All right, so we're not gonna show. We want to take a step back here. We'll see you got the shoes on. Yeah, we like to stay fashionable, guys. But next on the list, we have BMNR and Tom Lee and Company looking to expand their share offering here to $24.5 billion, taking the Michael Saylor strategy route. But the difference is here, guys, the yield that Ethereum generates from staking. Really curious to think what the boys think of this one here.
If we had the Royale with cheese here, then, you know, we still got to find. I got to find
a Big Mac. You ever had McDonald's in Europe?
Well, when we were in Italy.
There's one in the Vatican.
We didn't. Oh no, I know where there's one. And there's one right in that square that we were in too, right by where we stayed. I think we had pistachio. I think my kids, it was hot. We went in there, and I think there was pistachio McFlurries.
They have like the flavors of stuff they have is just some.
Yeah, it's
you
wild.
Can't get it. Now, admittedly, you should never we don't go to Europe to eat McDonald's.
No, like if I'm in there eating a Big Mac, then please just hit me over the head with whatever wine bottle you find on the street.
The day at the Vatican, it was a long. Vatican's you do the Vatican's a lot. And my daughter was just
it's a long
It was
walk.
a lot, and we're just like, look.
Were you one of those guys that had your phones out in the Sistine Chapel and taking pictures?
I actually,
because I see people doing that.
I got very lucky because I had my cane when we went into the Sistine Chapel.
Assistant?
And so we get in there, and it's like everyone's standing in the middle to look up, but there was nowhere to sit and just enjoy it. So I get in, and some guy comes right up to me and he says, and he's like, just give this guy a seat. So I got to actually sit down and relax for it.
Nice,
but
good.
It was a long day. My daughter was just
it's a huge day.
You can have whatever you want.
Lineups.
She's like, I want to try McDonald's. And they had all kinds of the pistachio, like you said, but everything is so fresh. Like the even
meatball Big Mac.
No, but even like the tomato in your burger is a fresh tomato, which is ridiculous. BMNR was fresh trash after this open of Bullish, because Bullish opened at 1 o'clock, right? I see. I actually
it was 101.
Okay, yeah, I have a 3-minute chart, so yeah, I can't really. It's hard to tell. But if you look at this, where's 1 o'clock? It's right about. So call it right here. So this is when Bullish opened. Remember this morning when we're saying this would be trouble, because a lot of times you signal a top. That was the moment that we got acceleration to the downside on BMNR, and this is your risk in this name. I'm all about. Look, my ETH is staked on Coinbase. Well, at least what's on Coinbase. Most of my ETH is in ETF, so I can hold it in my TFSA, so it's not actually ETH. But I think that's good. But as we were talking about before, you've got to know when to take your momentum plays. This is just giving you everything you wanted the last few days, double topped, and it's sort of an obvious area where you might see, hey, we got an IPO in the space that ran and then showed you weakness. Well, that's exactly when it accelerated to the downside. I don't think that's rocket science. And had I not wanted to get up and make the bullish trade and take a walk, maybe you would have thought about short. For this afternoon,
I'm trying to charge your phone, but I
think you might catch some kind of a bid. At least I'd hope so. But if it continues down, I think like the 56 to 58 level could be something for BMNR. But I think we made a temporary top here, at least.
Okay, I'm trying to give Adara my charger so she can charge her phone, but something's going on. Yeah, no. Oh, you got it?
It seems like that would be real easy.
Oh, she has lightning. Okay.
Check the one at my desk. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Chargers to the left of them, chargers to the right of them.
She asked me if I had USB-C, and I did, but she needs lightning cable. I'm happy to know my wife is changing to the 16 Pro. So my household is changing. All of us have lightning cables, but the USB-C is so much better. It just I find the lightning cables gives it up. It doesn't, sometimes you plug it in and it's not it's solid. Anyways, first world iPhone problems right there. So, all right, so BMNR, what's up? Rob is, these guys are real close right now. I like it. I mean, this is getting set up real quick. This is, whoa, hey now. Watch out now. Randy's going to get jealous here. We got some more appearances.
Yeah, where is Randy?
On the show.
Notice how when all
Can you tell we made we made some kind of money here today because our moods are a little bit better.
Also, too.
Yesterday I got absolutely smoked. Yesterday was a very, besides it being my daughter's birthday. Oh, we went to the hibachi. It was great. The guy was. It's funny though because we've been there twice, and both times for birthdays. And now when they set up that onion tower, they all know. So my daughter's like, okay, here comes the flames. Yeah. So
The first time, but the first time you go to one of those, it's just, it's a different experience.
Yeah, so
it's so cool.
That's actually what I told Marissa. I said we'll probably never go back unless it was somewhere not to the same kind of place. Like if we're out and it's like you know, higher end or something like that, then maybe. But this place, you got the shrimp, the steak, the chicken, and it's very basic, and it was a lot of fun. At the end, we got a cheesecake. It was either mango cheesecake or green tea cheesecake. What one would you prefer?
I've had green tea cheesecake, and I'm just not a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like
one of my
fruit.
kids went mango, one went green tea, wife went mango,
fruit, cherry, raspberry,
I went green tea.
Chocolate.
Okay.
Me? Joe just said he's never had cheesecake. It's just like
honestly. There's something.
I love this dude.
I need to do a deep dive into who this guy is exactly.
How have you never had cheesecake?
No pie.
Have you had rum cake?
Rum cake?
Why are you
from the islands?
Why are you saying of course though? Why are you saying of course?
For the same reason why you asked it.
West Indians eat pie too.
I've never seen a pie in Jamaica.
West Indians eat pie.
He just said there's no pies in Jamaica, period.
I've never seen one. At the shops, buying any pie. I promise you that. I can promise you that one. Anyways,
okay,
guys,
let's go on.
Oh,
Let's get on to gold here. Up over 600%. Enough for the pie talk. But improving on that revenue, guys. $56,000 last year. That's correct. Yes, 56,000. Now up to 1.3 million, guys. What's the look on gold?
Something in here, yeah. So what's up to Danny? Yesterday I had no problems telling you guys that I lost the whole month yesterday trading and went red, but I made 8 times that today, so I'm fine. And you know what? The thing is like that's what trading is, and that's why I said I started the show off with like what I said about Joe, and Neil's the same way. It's just you can't really get emotional too much and think about, you know, the trades that you made one day until the next. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to bother you, and when you're looking down, and especially when you eat what you kill. Like, if you have a couple, 3 or 4 bad days in a row, you could be in the hole quite significantly, but it's the mentality that you have to keep that I was showing you guys yesterday. All of the trades that I lost on yesterday were trades that, obviously, in hindsight, I wouldn't have made them again, but they all lined up to where I feel like I should have been making those trades, and it's just they didn't work out. And sometimes it's like what the hell's going on with Juan Soto this year? Now I'm sure there's probably are reasons why, but this guy, you know, he's probably not thinking too much about changing anything. It's just sometimes you go in these bad slumps.
It's actually kind of bad luck for the guy.
Right. So
I have him in fantasy, so I know it is bad luck.
Right. So it's just like, you know, you gotta stay the course, and you know, just come to work every day and try to. And of course, if strategies stop changing, that's one of the best things about our game is you do have to continuously adjust. So I'm actually a little nervous on what Bullish did, because when it broke and I got $1.70 of slippage on very small shares, like I only had like maybe 5% of what I took on the IPO. If that IPO goes sour, and it prints us and someone markets it down.
My estimation was that the risk was 70 to 100% more than it was on the last IPO.
Yeah, so.
And that's based on what I saw on that 5-second chart. I'm pretty sure like about more than 50% worth whatever you thought you might have lost. Because I always do that sort of calculation. Like I think for myself, like I risk half of what I think I can make in a month in a general sense, but I think I risk more than that today, if I'm being honest about it.
Yeah, so it's a little bit, but again, risk it for the biscuit. I mean, honestly, at some point, we have to sit here and we always talk about more shares, and
biscuits
it's like,
are free.
We all have different, if you go to Popeyes, I realized, all the meals include biscuits. So like when we were traveling down to Boston,
nobody buys a biscuit. You'd never buy a biscuit.
Nor would you risk it for that.
Exactly. It's just a biscuit. You literally can get a biscuit free all over the place.
Adara just dunked on you.
You can't go to a barbecue without.
Adara literally said she just goes to Popeyes and only buys a biscuit.
First of all, Adara, any family cookout has biscuits, but Popeyes biscuits, you think that's good?
No. She's just saying that she goes there to buy them. It's not. I love cornbread.
Go down anywhere in the South and just go to a park on a weekend, meet a nice family and be like, hey,
go this afternoon.
Can I have some of that mac and cheese? Can I have some biscuits? And trust me, and you'll be.
I know you do.
You'll be absolutely chill.
You know, I remember one day when Adara just sort of started here. I mean, it was a couple months in, and we went to get brisket, and she said that she wanted the mac and cheese. So that's how I knew she knew what she was talking about, getting that from a down south place. But okay, what are we talking about? BSLK? I don't even know anything about that stock. I'm not going to sit here and lie.
It's Bolt.
It's Bolt. All right. Well, why don't you go to Neil then, and I'll call it up. I'm on a different planet right now.
We gotta go to Joe first.
We just did this. See what I'm saying, Neil? Focus. You're supposed to be the one in control here.
Actually,
I'm the one that's aloof. You are supposed to be
usually
holding fort, and I just do my stupid stuff.
Okay, so Bolt. What's weird about this one is
that you don't know anything about it.
No,
Yeah.
the float is like there's some stupid floats. This one, I think, if this is right, the number I see for the float is 1.7 million. That would be one of the biggest turnovers that I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen like a sub or around a 1-2 million float do a quarter of a billion shares trading. So like either that's wrong, that 1.7 million float, or this is ridiculous. That being said, I just wanted to point out that it's breaking a trend line since it made the breakout and the halt up, so be careful. I didn't pay for locate, so I'm not taking this trade. But yeah, Bolt runs into a little trouble at that 17. Anytime you're involved in what seems like it's like a float squeeze, so someone soaked up the float, just meaning you've bought up, someone has amassed a position large enough on a small float that there's not enough shares available, they're not going to lend any out, so you therefore, without a big short float, you're able to get a squeeze situation. That's what happens mechanically with something like this. So even without a big short float, you get a squeeze on these low float names. And understand that squeezes tend to go in both directions, pretty nasty. What's interesting about this is it doesn't seem to have, at least in recent history, like it's done it before, but in recent history, this has not really, yeah, like I don't see any crazy pullbacks. It's actually doing not a mullen, where it's breaking out bag hold levels pretty decently, or at least making some good runs here. But every single time it's done a parabolic move, eventually it's come back. Maybe not right away, but eventually it's come back. So I would have suspected that could be true here. Just be careful with it. Like I said, it just broke trend maybe a couple minutes ago. See, it would have been a good trade. That's, yeah, like it's always the ones that you don't take. Not I couldn't have traded this because we probably don't even have
Google,
locates.
Apple. People are just chanting that something's going on here. So
Apple.
whoa.
Apple.
Okay, yeah. Google tag.
No.
Big time movement happening here. Adara. Attention, Adara.
Is this even on?
I don't know. I'm not hearing anything in my ear about any of this, so I do apologize for it. But there goes Google. Holy shnikes to the downside. Maybe pick up some value there. Apple also with a move down. Meta, has CapEx fallen out of the basement here? No, it's not. Meta's fine right now. Apple, what else could we be looking at here? Apple, Google. Oh, here, I'm going to go over to the trade rate right now to see what's popping here on e-signal. Google, AMD maybe, Nvidia. Is there something here with chips? No, Nvidia's fine, AMD's fine, Nvidia's fine. SPY's going. Apple, Google are the main ones there, with Palantir getting some love as well. No, okay, so it's Apple and Google. We'll get that story to you guys momentarily. We're all looking for it. All right, so let's go back over. Oh, the next story is Apple. All right, so let's hear what Joe has to say about Apple, and then we'll go find out why these moves are happening.
Hey, maybe it's leading towards this, but I know you touched on this not too long ago, Sean. So Apple plots expansion into robotics, home security, and smart displays. Curious to see what's going on with this one. Let's get back to the boys. Apple, Google, what's going on?
Okay, so here we go. Adara's already on this. She's enjoying her lunch, sending us this. The Google Store bans all cryptocurrency wallets.
What?
In jurisdictions such as the US and EU unless they obtain federal licenses. So let me repeat that. I don't know why this is affecting, just a report right now. Google Store bans all cryptocurrency wallets in jurisdictions. That kind of makes sense, that they're not licensed in. So I think that's fine. To be honest with you, I don't know enough about like Coinbase or what jurisdictions they're in, but I would assume that they're operating in jurisdictions that they're allowed. So I would think that'd be fine, but I don't know why this is affecting Google that much. I would think that this is a buying opportunity for Google.
Maybe people were just pissed off. I don't know, but that doesn't even.
The Google Store bans all cryptocurrency wallets in jurisdictions. That might not be it. Dara's just clarifying that, but that's
there's nothing else.
That's all that she's seeing, and that makes sense because it's Google related. I mean, there's nothing else is really moving on this. BLSH might be because we heard that they're in the Cayman Islands, right? So we heard about that. So maybe something here for bullish. I don't know. Is it ironic that this news comes out this day, potentially. I don't know. We could see if Robinhood is having some moves on this. No. SoFi. Webull, maybe. Again, I'm just throwing out names. I don't really...
Nothing else seems to have dropped.
No. So... Anyways.
And we're almost all the way back here. Alphabet just
I want people to understand something. Like Google's already been red, but you don't get news like this with volume like this, right? I mean, you can't really see. That's how you know it's like somewhat news related, the biggest volume spike of the day. So we don't want to misreport, but that's what we're hearing, or that's what we're seeing. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, by the way. Have you heard anything?
No, I haven't heard a single thing in my ear.
Maybe that's why I had Andre test.
Well, it was working during the
IPO.
It was working during the IPO because we kept getting the indicated open price in our ear, but since then, nothing. Look, as far as Apple's concerned, I actually think. Okay, I've never been in the Apple ecosystem. My entire family is, with the exception of me, not my parents, my brother, cousins. I mean, everybody loves Apple. I grew up with Apple PCs in the household, all that good stuff. But I've never been with them as an adult. If they get a robot that does everything that Optimus does before Optimus gets out there, let's just say it happens. I'm not saying it will happen, but if it were to happen, that's the kind of thing that could convert me. I'm just being real. Like if something that I really want and is a game changer is only on their because let's be real about this. Like if you get an Apple or whatever they end up calling it, I have no idea if they even get one out there. Then you want everything in the ecosystem. You're controlling it with your phone. It's integrated with your home, like all that kind of stuff. So you're going to jump to that ecosystem, and I think that's potentially.
Bullish is tanking.
It puts more pressure on Tesla, which you saw also drop on that headline as well. So unfortunately, it's another sort of dig because a lot of people are looking at as Optimus as another place for Tesla to win, and Apple knows how to make a device. Maybe they can pull this one off. I don't know about that. I'm a little skeptical. I want to see some details, like start to see where the development, show us what you're working on. Give us an idea. Give us a bit of a hint. That's what I'd like to see because I think that's not a crazy idea for them to be getting into. I love the fact that we're bouncing here off that 230 level because you can see on the daily chart, you've done most of the work. The 200's gone. You've broken away. I think Apple's on that. It's on that churn to try to make the run at the all-time high, and the pullback holding 230 is a big one here today. And that news can't hurt. Adara?
I haven't seen anything else on Google, so I can't comment on if there's any other story behind that news. That's the only thing I saw. With Apple, too, it's worth noting, apparently all of these AI, robot, lifelike Siri, and security tech news that we heard about, again, this is just a report as far as I can tell so far. Apparently they're targeting that by 2027, so it still might take a little bit of time to roll out. It's unclear if some elements will come out earlier than that, but as far as I'm seeing from these reports, 2027, that is not really what we're necessarily hoping for from Apple. Back to you.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Neil just nailed it anyways. I mean, Apple's been holding some of those levels, and obviously that story was Apple and Google related, because if Google's banning them from their app store, then maybe the next move is Apple. But I don't think Apple should have fallen down on that news, and that's why it got bought right back up, I guess. But if it's a judge that's doing that, then potentially they turn the gun on Apple. But I still like that break right there. Yeah, 233.40s. We're getting close to take it. I think it's worth easing back and maybe not trading these names on that move. But yeah, like, you know, I get excited when I see stuff like that because it gives you an opportunity to make a quick trade one way or the other. Like if you're here and you hear that news almost before anybody else, which is why you guys are here, I hope, because we drop the news all the time, and we'll even hear it sometimes and react too fast to it, and then it happens. But yeah, that would have just given you some instant moves there, right? I mean, Neil and I, again, when you're trading other people's money, we're on a prop floor. We've talked about that before, real trading, and you know, our buying powers well exceed, you know, our net worth and stuff like that. So we have, well, at least mine does. You know,
can be dangerous.
So that's what I'm saying. So you could take, it's not a huge trade, but you could take 1,000 shares or something like that. And then if you make a quick buck or two, like that's $2,000, right? So I mean, that's good. So that's why we get a little bit excited. Sometimes seeing quick opportunities can really pay off. So yeah, okay, good question here, Salvador. I'm going to go to Adara because she has news, and then I'm going to talk about this particular question. So,
okay, this is confusing.
What's up, Adara?
So it looks like the Google news is exactly what we thought it was, but I do have some more details. So again, this is reported by a source called The Rage. I was not familiar with them prior to this, but basically they're reporting that apparently Google is now requiring any wallet app, via their Google Play Store to have a FinCEN, MSB, and state money transfer license in the U.S. or a MiCA CASP license in the EU. So basically, they're requiring any of these wallet apps on the Google Play Store to have valid licensing in their jurisdictions in the US and EU, and that's across 15 different jurisdictions in both regions. Apparently, there is now no carve-out for non-custodial wallets, which functions like a de facto ban for many. So basically, some of these wallet apps may or may not get effectively banned if they lack this appropriate licensing that Google Play would like them to have in the EU and US. Long story short, as you kind of mentioned, it looks like Google is kind of restricting some of these wallet apps within their Play Store. We're going to have to see how this shapes up. This is just being reported right now by The Rage. Back to you.
I don't know, it kind of seems to me like Google's doing what they're supposed to do. But without knowing specifically off the top of your heads, like who specifically is going to get the boot and who would be under pressure for this, it's hard to go past just looking at Alphabet there.
And that's why I was like, I scrolled through. Like, we didn't see any reaction to Coinbase,
nothing that we did.
SoFi, Bullish. All that seemed to be the same. Oh, you're welcome, Mig Raj here. Thank you for the $5, and you're welcome for Bullish. I mean, I think all of us, Sharif was doing a great job on the midday as well. Neil, we all covered that, so thank you for that super chat. All right, what's up, Salvador? We said we talked about this. When you trade on news, you just take a market order or limit order, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you, great question.
Market.
I don't have any market keys even set up. So, but what I do is market on open. Yeah. If a stock is closed, if a stock is halted, then we have market on opens or limit on opens for that. And even then, I use limits, not markets. So no, I would just use a marketable limit order if that makes any sense. So, for example, like right now, if I really wanted to buy this, I would put it in a bid at like 201.20. So I get whatever is here all the way up. It's like swiping. Swipe or no swiping, you swipe the level and it will get you shares. So it takes a couple seconds to put the order out and do that. So I'm here to admit that that is the slow part about doing a trade like that, is that you have to set the order up. But then you don't get into, sometimes there's a funnel like a siphon where, you know, if you're part of this move, and you hit a market order, you may get, like, you may want 199, but you may get 198.50, like depending on what that looks like on a level 2. And I'll show you, for example, on Bullish, each one of these numbers on here is 100 shares. So like that's 600 shares there only. That's only 200 shares there, 300. So like they're at 82.50, at least you could say there's 3,000 shares. But if you don't hit that rate now, then it's going to be, see, now it's almost gone already. Now it's only 2,000 and people are already starting to hit it. So if you don't go after it early and you miss that, well, then the next level with size is all the way down here at 81. So right there. So that's $1.50 lower than 82.50, which just broke. So then now there's size at 82. But
just to give you an example,
I mean, I was going to say this example right here on Bullish just before I end it.
Yeah.
This trade, I had the stop order out for 5% of my, so let's just say 100 shares, whatever, and that stop was at 89.99 because the Bullish IPO came at 90. That's 89.99, and the price I got just with this little cursor, I guess, is like 88.35. So I had $1.70 in slippage on 100 shares. So if you have 1,000,
well, I'll give you the example. Yesterday, I keystroked on BMNR. I punched a breakout that failed, and basically, if you don't react, if you don't react in the first few seconds, like if I missed my chance to get out, it's over. Because it was just, what are you going to do? The market and the algos know that you just got punked, because they see that order going through and it's too big in the book, and nobody would send that on a lit gateway, which I had done. It's like nobody does that. So instantly you're like, okay, well, if I can't exit this the first few seconds, they're going to just hunt the crap out of you because there's, like you said, there's no liquidity. There are shares available, but once they pull, believe me, it gets nasty. That being said, in these types of markets, everybody, which are volatile markets, there's an exciting thing coming here for Canadian traders that are sophisticated. Beta Pro's Globex Canada has just launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs. 3x bull, 3x bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. And even better, they're offering a special fee rebate. The management fees being dropped to just 65 basis points until the end of the year. That's December 31st this year. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more. Scan the QR code you see out in front of you. Ooh, Matt Carnes in the chat. Been long Lockheed Martin since 426. Got a little left for the dream. It's happened. Lockheed Martin has made a low. And it's bouncing. It's actually happening. Every now and then you can just catch the falling knife. What's good about this, there's something that we've been talking about during earnings, right? Like, it's okay, fine. Like, it's been nasty, it's trending down, all that good stuff. But after you get a bad print on a report, if it shows you double bottom, maybe it does like a multi-day, like a 2 or 3 day succession, like higher lows where and then you hold that higher low, which this didn't do. It just flat out double bottomed after the earnings flush. And that, wasn't paying attention to this one. This is the stock that I was actually looking to catch a bottom in, although I think it was somewhere in the 300s. This is what you're looking for. You don't always have to catch the falling knife. All right, just very quickly, I'm gonna go over to Nvidia to show you guys something, because Nvidia is trying to make a bit of a run here. Why is this New Zealand? I don't know why New Zealand always comes up.
We tried to solve that problem by saying, like, if it's not something that you're even
entitled to.
Like when is the last time you looked at a New Zealand stock? Like, it's so crazy.
Literally never. Australia, yes, because there was a point that we actually had a night group running on the floor, and they would trade Australia and Hong Kong and stuff, but never New Zealand. So Nvidia is breaking out above the volume weighted average price. It's about to, knock on wood, don't want to jinx, give a hold and close over VWAP, which is going to signal an entry for me. This 3-minute candle can close above VWAP. I'm going to jump in either on a little breakout of the local high, but Nvidia outside of the low today and the first few minutes of the open is starting to look really good here for sure. So I just want to get involved here. Give it a couple of minutes or maybe 1 minute for this bar to close. I think temporarily you just found another bottom at 80 on Bullish. It's holding 80, but that's not saying much at all. Like, that's still looking nasty. There might be a trend reversion trade on this thing, but my eyeballs are going to be on Nvidia here. It's looking pretty strong. Above VWAP when the market's underneath it, so relative strength here, at least temporarily in Nvidia.
Okay, so I was just looking here at Bullish and thinking, like, okay, maybe we just made a bottom again here at $82. So looking to see if that could possibly hold. I want to see it like one more time, because 80 to me is much more key, because we did wick down there and it's an even dollar level, and it happened right away off of the third halt there for BLSH. So I was thinking about maybe dipping in here around 82. And again, I would be careful with the shares just because of that exact move that we talked about as far as slippage is concerned. But tonight we have just one name, and it used to be a big one, and it still is. It's Cisco. So data security, server side, all that kind of stuff. We'll wait to see what happens with Cisco. I know around here we used to always have, we've had Rob and Mark and all these guys help us in our office set up our Cisco routers back in the day. We used to have these Cisco routers. And now, of course, it's just all by these little cubes and different technology now. So we'll see what Cisco's up to these days. It's been a huge,
by a teapot.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't. Yeah, electrical problems are another issue. But right into here, $51 bottom up to 70. I'm going to say the same thing I always say about stocks like this, and that is that you see here, this is how far away we were from the 50-period moving average. And if I had a ruler that I trusted, which I'll probably use it right here, that was big. And then you came back in, and of course, this is the March-April tariff talk and all that. So that's going to be a problem. But I mean, we are well extended now from the 200-period moving average. So price to perfection, I don't know. But what we're looking for from Cisco, and we're going to go to Adair in just 1 second. I just want to give you the numbers that she's given me. 98 cents EPS. Like, what kind of companies are we talking about here? Estimated revenue, $14.6 billion. Like, it's just, the money that a lot of these companies are throwing out here at infrastructure continues to be absolutely huge. So shout out to
money.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
They're not playing around.
Trading Cisco tonight. So we'll join Neil and Adara, I guess.
I think that was the second stock I ever traded was Cisco.
Things are traded, yeah. I don't.
Yeah, the first. So I remember. You don't forget these kind of things.
Hey, my Bitcoin chart froze.
The four level twos I had up as a trainee was Intel,
AMD running. We got to get over on
Cisco, and Microsoft. Those were the four.
Let's go to it.
Reasonably priced. Are we going to it there?
I don't know because I don't know if there's news because like you said, Nvidia's running, AMD's running. Let's go see what Adara has to say.
Yeah, I actually have some news that just came in through. Keep an eye on names like USA Rare Earths, USAR, and MP Materials. I'm just seeing here on X, apparently the U.S. Energy Department is announcing actions to secure American critical minerals and materials supply chains. So MP, USAR are going to be on watch. Also, with regards to Cisco earnings, I just posted this on X at TTV Research. This is our Cisco annual revenue infographic going back 29 years, so from 1996 to 2004, with some fun little tidbits in between. You can check this out on X at TTV Research and definitely join Neil and myself on that market recap show. Back to you.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. We'll see. You never really know. Like AMD, just quickly here, because AMD bounced before Nvidia did, and it's worth noting. It got to 185 again and pulled back. It got there earlier when at 130, probably a lot of people were looking at bullish. I don't blame you. Bounced off VWAP and rejecting 185. AMD's up 5 points today and looking really strong. But the other thing to think about is AMD has rejected the top from this July high. Like, it's not the all-time high, but it is arguably a bigger level of resistance here because this is now the fourth time it's rejected around 185 on the daily, going back to the beginning of last year. So once AMD is able to get through this 85 area and break 90, then it's going to be all systems go for sure. But I just got into Nvidia as it broke VWAP. Remember, I'm reminding myself of this. Like yesterday, how many times did we talk about it's an afternoon in August? So as bullish was for a minute and it's moving around and all that stuff, it's still an afternoon in August. So tempering some expectations and trying to scalp this first part out as we get close to 182. I don't know how much we're going to move this afternoon. Like, we get to VWAP on the futures and they just do absolutely nothing, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit. So let's see what we can get out of this. I think that, like I said, I think the chips are fine, but temporarily it feels like AMD is, like, I like Nvidia, but AMD, just generally speaking, has been the better day trading vehicle. I wouldn't buy it up here. I think if this comes down to VWAP and Nvidia, let's say I'm out of Nvidia, let's say I am, then I would maybe look for this one off VWAP. But AMD has been an absolute beast. What's crazy is, this was a couple of days ago, and we're like, now AMD's $10, $15 lower than Nvidia because we had this joke about who's going to get to 200 first. And now all of a sudden it's favoring AMD again. And that can flip because Nvidia, if AMD doesn't get there by the time Nvidia reports, then it doesn't matter. It's just that simple. Like Nvidia can get there in one day.
The thing is, AMD could also catch a bid off the report as well.
That's true.
So, anyways, I just came across this here on Bespoke, and it's the Trump trade, basically. So Trump 1.0, of course, his first presidency, and then Trump 2.0 is in the blue or black right here. And these are the performances of the various sectors. So this is what I'm talking about history repeating itself, and we talked about that with IPOs, and we talked about that with, I forget, there was another example that we just had about this, but energy, the worst sector by far once Trump's been here. And this is, again, in the first 200 days. The first 200 days of both his presidencies. So we just hit that mark. So right now, energy down 13%. Sorry, Trump 2.0, 9%, down 13% off of it. This is the change, so the relative change. So this was a 3% change. The big one to note, of course, is healthcare. And we had, again, different times now, obviously, but healthcare right there. Unfortunately, we had the UNH situation, and then we had his appointment of RFK, which sent some names going one way, some names going the other. But healthcare right now.
You can say
Moderna, yeah, but I mean, there's other names too, and we've had Novo Nordisk. You talked about sort of that decline. We've seen Eli Lilly decline in the last 200 days. Nothing, in my opinion, to do with Trump at all. It's just those, that's what happens. So that's healthcare downside. I don't know if Trump has made any. Again, it's tough to talk about healthcare because I know it's such a politicizing and such an important thing to so many people in the States. And I wish that healthcare numbers were way higher, but you know, in order for healthcare to make money, its insurance needs to be fixed. I feel like they need to just accept more claims, but that would bring healthcare numbers down, I guess, right? It's a slippery slope, but at the end of the day, technology, that's sort of what I wanted to. Comm services, for some reason, were down 8%, up 13% this time around. But tech is the one that continues to work, right? And so technology. And again, you know, president of the market, he's talked about that. So some of these stocks that continue to work, maybe we all feared different tariffs and whatnot, but they seem to have been taking it out. So I don't know if there's anything in here that impresses you, Neil, but I mean, it's just kind of like real estate not doing much, doing much better the first term.
One that stands out is, well, to me, the one that stands out is the financials, right? Like,
yeah, where are the financials? Oh, right here.
9 last time and 3
this time. Yeah,
there
that
was
makes sense.
And I was firmly in the camp at the beginning of the year when we did our little Jimmy Carter pick thing. Like I threw in, like GV was a pick because I believe in data centers and I felt like energy like that was going to be good for tech. But I had XLF in there. I thought things would be much better for the traditional financials, and I've kind of accepted the fact that he was just much better for crypto and for fintech than it was for the traditional financial names. There's been an uptick in M&A, but it's nowhere. I don't think it's near what everyone was expecting. The IPOs are starting to come back, but that's because the market's going. It just hasn't been the bounty. I think, and this is with the banks at all-time highs. It's just I was expecting a little bit better. XLF hasn't even broken out yet at all, which is, I'd say, surprising. I thought we were going to have a breakout on that, and big-time disappointment. I would argue that some of that problem has to do with, I said it before, the credit cards have not been as strong as they could be inside the XLF, and maybe you need another ETF because everybody loves fintech. That's why Robinhood's doing what it's doing. And I mean, that's like, when was the last time someone? To your point, asking in the chat or putting in the chat, we love the big bank, but when was the last time somebody typed in JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs, yet every single day we get questions about Robinhood and SoFi? You know, Coinbase, right? There's a reason. Changing of the guard.
Yeah, exactly. I want to bring this to everybody's attention here. So this is something that we've created on the show. Shout out to my guy Fabian over there. So right now, Bullish leading the way, AMD, BMNR. So I'm going to reset this right here. So now what you have to do to be part of this is just type Google and SPY, or don't type those names, but whatever you want, right here in the chat. So that won't work, Meta, but that won't work either. That will. So OB will be the first stock that will show up here right now. And of course, there's no symbol. You know what would be kind of cool? No, don't do this. But that would be cool if all of a sudden like a picture of OB showed up right here. But then everybody would do that. So let's not do that. But shout out to OB. We just talked to him. He's over in the back over there right now as we've moved all the traders from this area. Uh-oh. Got the drill going on right there. But okay, so Palantir. So I'll just talk about Palantir and Tesla right now quickly. SoFi, UNH is on. UNH is actually having quite the run today. I believe it was up to 267.
I tried to put Mullen
again. You tried to put Mullen. You love some Mullen, but Mullen doesn't work, right? It's the new name.
But
all right, so what did I say we'd look at? What's leading the way there? My bad. Oh, shoot. What was leading the way? Right here, stock visualizer.
Bollinger Innovation.
Oh, it was PLTR. Okay, so PLTR and UNH. All right, so Palantir. I've been saying that it's getting. Oops, that's like what? Big Bear AI. Nice move. Okay, why is that not showing Palantir chart? Whoa. Okay, nice little move down there, but nothing to be too concerned with. We had traded Palantir today. It was good until it wasn't. We tried to hold that 187, which was the closing price right there. So again, like to lose on a trade like that is fine for me. It makes sense. We got in, we got out, we got in, then we got out once it broke below. So yeah, right now Palantir, I'm a little concerned, obviously, when we look at a PE of over 150 right now for Palantir that, you know, the only thing that I could see that goes wrong now for stocks like this is that there is somebody releases something about, you know, stocks that are well overvalued. And the number one name on the list is going to be Palantir, and then people get a little jittery and sell some of their shares. So we don't have any negative stories here with PLTR, and in fact, unless we do, but in fact is that Palantir has been pretty frothy for quite a while. It is, and this might not be true anymore, but you know, as of their earnings release, it was the number one stock performance-wise in the S&P 500 from January. So a little bit, from 77 up to 190. It's had a huge run, and I'm just not sure if there's been too much profit taking. So I would be very, very careful with a 180 break there on Palantir, because if that happens, then traders like myself and maybe others would see that level there, similar to Google 160, which turned out to be the bottom. That may give some of those earnings back up. We saw a name like SoFi wind up holding that $20 mark. So we'll see if this holds. Yeah, surprisingly a little bit. I thought SoFi was going to give it up as well. But yeah, right now I would say you can go long on this. The market's pretty flat on the day. Okay, perfect. Adara does have, thank you for that, Andre. Adara does have news about Palantir.
So apparently, I'm seeing Fox Business is reporting that Citron Research is short Palantir. Now, I did check. This is not on X, but Citron Research did post on X that Andrew Left, who is, of course, the leader of Citron, would be appearing on Fox Business at 3. So this does check out. Again, long story short, apparently Andrew Left of Citron Research just appeared on Fox Business and said he is short Palantir. So that's what's happening here for PLTR. For the record, the Citron Research short report for MSTR set the stock down $100 in one day. So he can sometimes move the market. Right now, a little bit of a drop for PLTR, but already a higher low. Back to you.
I mean,
I thought Citron was they were
they were going long.
They're not the ones that went long only.
Because he got cooked a couple
Must
times.
have been. I know.
They're like most famous for shorting GameStop as well, and then the guy lost a whole bunch of money, and then everyone was making fun of him, and yeah.
Yeah, we know they're famous for doing that, but there was also maybe it wasn't them. There was another very, very famous short selling firm that a couple of years ago came out publicly saying they were long only, and I thought it was Citron, but maybe it wasn't them.
I'm going to say it is Citron. But isn't that funny? That is exactly. I didn't know that story. I was literally saying the only thing that I could see Palantir going down is somebody comes out and talks about the valuation, and Palantir is the #1 name on that list, and then. There it is.
This crazy valuation.
Maybe President Trump should hire one of us to try to help out with some of these.
It's the size of the market cap and the valuation.
Yeah, no,
because there's a bunch of things that have silly valuations. It's just.
Palantir is going to be in people's minds because it is that sort of AI play about, and it's not warmongering or anything like that, but the big beautiful bill there added some more money, obviously, into the space. So we'll have to wait to see if they do catch more government contracts. But I feel like Donald Trump, we just talked about the first 200 days. There's many more days to come, and applying more money into defense and immigration and border security and big data. Like Palantir already has that stamp of approval from the U.S. government, from the Navy, from the Army, that their software is approved. So that's the big hurdle. That's why I was talking about the moats that are around here. But the one thing that could threaten Palantir's not existence, but their valuation is the fact that like Amazon or Google or any of these guys have so much cash, they can just get involved in any business they want. Like Amazon could just completely wreck the pharmaceutical, just by delivering. I remember, I think it was Walgreens or someone like that. When Amazon announced that they deliver prescriptions, some of those stocks got absolutely hammered. Like when Amazon announces that they're in some sort of a Whole Foods, or when they bought out WholeOods, some of those stocks started to go down to the downside because now it's like, oh God, now Amazon's delivering those. You can't
have Amazon coming at you.
So yeah. Anyways, I'm just using Amazon as an example.
They're a great example.
They're all that. But
they're everywhere. You're saying this morning about how
I got to find a trade.
Most of the Mag 7 are just the conglomerates of different types of businesses, and Amazon. That's why you believe in them. Although they're not having a very good run of it today. I'll grant you that. So
damn it, bad guess.
Computron Net. After Andrew Left this explains it better. This is what we were thinking about. Got squeezed in GME. He said they would not publish short, but most of his longs plays like Baidu never picked up, so they're back to short after MSTR short they did. Okay, so there was something to it, but I guess they flipped back because they were no good at longs, which is fine. You got to know your niche, man. If your edge happens to be shorting, then whatever, man. Maybe you just contrarian. I have no idea. He just
wants to get on Fox.
No, but I have absolutely no idea. I'm making the assumption that they've been profitable with their shorts because they did it for a long time. But a lot of people got burned in GME, and there's at the end of the day, there's a place for every single strategy. You just have to make sure that when you're deploying it, it makes sense for you. Like the average person trying to pick tops on Palantir is probably going to get destroyed. Part of what a lot of the hedge funds that are able to short and win on plays like that, it's because of their ability to hold through a lot of pain. And
Just broke 184.
and there's been a lot of pain for people that have been trying to short those names. It's just different for the big boys. They can hold on longer.
Yeah, and there's going to be winners in all markets. Like you were actually talking about shorting bullish, and there was great opportunities to do that as well. So it's not
me though.
Yeah, not us, but there was good opportunities to do that. And there is a hold of 184. I was going to say, let's see if it holds it one more time, and then maybe we can grab this long here on Palantir. If you're going to go long on Palantir, you got to give it to that bottom. So I'm willing to do it. I mean, obviously, if the report is now out. Let's, all right, I'm trying to, so see, okay, I'll punch in a little bit. I punched into some 15s there. I actually put a bid at 184.08, so that might come in. I was like, oh, I'm not getting this. Let me take a little bit more there. So I just punched in. So there it is. Okay. Let's see if I get something out of it. Okay, there it is. So that was pretty fast. Okay, Neil, wow, all right. So, I mean, spin it. Money. You could sit here all day, and Neil and I look for 40, 50, 60 cent winners. This is now in 3 seconds, right there, we just taking 65 cents. Don't worry about it, Joe. There it goes, nice move there on Palantir. So I'm actually already out of half. It's funny because I read the chat and people are like, hey man, Sean's not in any trades. And then I get in one, and right there, I punched in. You guys saw me punch in. We punched in there. We got 184.15s. Told you I was doing it. I don't know if you guys saw the level, but it was hit there. We hit it. We punched in. So that's the marketable order that we're talking about, Salvador, there where I actually just pushed up and pushed in. I didn't specify the price. I just like pushed it up 20 cents, whatever price I got. But there it goes. Sometimes it's worth removing liquidity and paying that small fee, getting into your shares, and then, as they say, what up to my Uncle Bob, but Bob is your uncle. All right, so let's go over there to Adara and find out more about PLTR. And actually,
probably
Joe's,
Reggiti.
Or whatever. Joe's mentioning Reggiti, so maybe it's about that.
It's actually about PLTR, so I have some more details here in the Citron Research short. Again, in case you guys missed it, Andrew left of Citron Research, appeared on Fox Business and said that he is short Palantir. Apparently, his reasoning is the company is, quote, beyond overvalued. Apparently, he likes Palantir and likes Alex Karp, but called the short obvious because he believes the company is overpriced, or the stock, sorry, is overpriced. The company is overvalued. Back to you.
Now it's overvalued?
Right. It's like, so obvious he has to go on national TV to say it. Like, these guys are jokers.
Well, because you have to remember at the end of the day, like the entire strategy is solely based upon taking a position and then using the disclosure of that position to get your first alpha, right? Like that's
probably watching Trader TV, and he just covered everything on that move up.
I don't know what's happening in Reggiti. There's no news. Reggiti reported and was an absolute, I don't know, like it was, I don't want to call it a nothing burger because it was down in the aftermarket when you guys were talking about it. And then all of a sudden you come in tomorrow or today and it was right back to where it was, and it's just been back and forth. But this is a buy program on Reggiti, clearly. As you can see, buy program. I'm looking reversal. When I see a program like this, it is very obvious. Buy, volume increasing. So a couple of things to look for. Volume to decrease going into the high at some point. The volume's already starting to decrease on some of these bars. And then a fail at the top or break of a trend. So that would be, it's real steep. It's a pretty steep trend line, but it's starting to press away from the trend line, which is good. Like it's pressing away from that program trend line. I'm gonna hit save and hope nothing happens. But I want to make sure I'm going to put this up where I had, I'm not going to be looking at Apple even after that news, but Reggiti, no news that I see, but this could be like delayed reaction. It's like, well, if we're not going down after earnings, then I guess we have to go up. Maybe that's going to be the course, but good trend line, potential break, I should say. Like it hasn't broken. Nvidia is holding the volume weighted average price, still want to scalp in front of 182. We're in a power hour like 15 minutes for sure, but you don't want to sit there and overtrade. And seeing that Reggiti move, that makes a heck of a lot of sense to me because it's still bullish. It's at the top of the list. Anytime I refresh, it's still bullish at the top of the list for what you guys want to talk about. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, bullish, AMD, Nvidia, all the same names. It's worth looking at how weak this has been since the open. Even when it's catching a bid, it just gets slammed right back down. Like it tried to got to 85, slammed back down to 82. Feels like this one wants to break the low of the day, which is exactly $80. To the penny, 80 is the low of the day. It's not looking, it's completely bearish. I don't know if anyone's still in this.
Oh, boy.
I don't know why you'd still be in it, to be honest with you, but if you were still in it, your last line in the sand is being tested rather quickly here.
All right, so there it is, man. We almost make that dollar, but we'll just do this. Shout out to Ozan. I haven't seen him in a minute.
He hasn't been around.
Maybe he got a job or something. But there it goes. Nice move up there for PLTR. We just take out another piece right now. We only have a quarter left of that. A little bit more than a quarter, but anyways. Nice move there for PLTR. I would just say, man, I've had 6. This is probably not for any doctors. I should maybe ask Perplexity. I've had 6 extra strength Advils today. That might be.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I woke up in the morning and I had a crazy headache, and it was like 6 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna take some Advil. So I took 2 then.
Yeah, but you can do that. Our buddy.
Yeah. I think you can have 8 a day, but you're supposed to alternate though.
Yeah, our buddy who's a doctor.
Oh yeah, I don't want to ask him
in our
anything.
high school pool. No, I'm just saying, like, when I would injure my hamstring, I was like, look, if I want to get back in like a shorter period of time, it's like what's the most you can do? And yeah, you do want to alter for the pain. You want to alternate, but like for ibuprofen, you don't want to. You make sure you're hydrated, obviously, and don't do it for more than like a day.
Yeah.
But in terms of like,
No, I just hope I'm not coming down with anything. Like I feel fine, and I thought it was the
ceiling,
high ceiling, the low ceiling, but the weather outside is actually
Dara did patient 0 this.
Quite beautiful.
She's soldiering through. I'll say
She's
that.
patient 0?
Dara's been soldiering today, man.
Oh, she's not. You're not feeling well?
You can't even tell.
I have been unwell on and off for like a period of 2 weeks now. It is on the side where it is getting worse. But alas, I do not want to take any sick days. I want to preserve them because I may take one next week.
Thank God.
For a surgery, so all good.
What?
All right. Well, that's what.
He's buried the lead there. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about someone's private stuff.
No, it's all good. It says.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Whatever. So thanks to Dara for sharing that. No, but the reason why I asked that is because I actually asked Sharif. I asked Joe if he knew what Sharif was not feeling that well with a couple of days ago. And what is that? Zin? I don't do that shit.
What are you talking? What is it?
Yeah, right.
What did he just
like
show you?
chewing tobacco? Come on,
What?
Joe, man. You shouldn't even be doing that, my guy.
No, come on. You don't do that stuff, do you? When I grew up, look, man. When we grew up, a lot of the dudes we played baseball with, they were on the chew. But that stuff's nasty, man. I can't do that. You don't want chewing tobacco.
These guys, Joe
habit,
living dangerously over there.
Lots of athletes do it, but doesn't mean it's a good thing.
They do? Do lots of athletes do that?
Well, they used to, but no. Nowadays, almost nobody.
I think they do. I think there are
a couple of dudes that were. There was a guy we played with in high school. I won't say his name, but he was flat out addicted. He couldn't stop. It's a bad habit, man. If you can get over that kind of stuff, that's why you do the sunflower seeds. Straight up. Sunflower seeds are not going to hurt anybody. Makes a mess, but you're fine.
I like the sunflower
This
seeds.
Reggiti program is still going. It can't stop. It can't go forever. No news. Post earnings into the high of day, which is at 23. So 17, Michael Jordan. Looks like it's trying to get to that upside. What else we got going on? This is what I'm watching. I got another scalp on bounce off the volume weighted average price of Nvidia, but that's about it. We have a few minutes till the early look imbalances come out. Maybe keep an eye on some of the crypto-related names after some of the headlines we got in the BMNR. That would make some sense. I think it's worth watching Coinbase, although it's doing nothing now going into the close. Not a very good day for them. Let's be real. I'll say it again. IPOs do not come out at random times. You choose when you can come to market. You want to come out in a bullish market, no pun intended. And oftentimes, that can be the perfect excuse for a temporary top. And maybe not particularly with Coinbase, because Coinbase is down after earnings, but certainly maybe we have a little pullback in crypto. ETH ended up not getting to the all-time high. That was the other thing. Why is this on ETHA? I wanted to show Ethereum. We'll just use Coinbase. It's interesting. Coinbase always comes to the top of the listed trading view.
Yeah.
I wonder how maybe they sort it by volume, which would make the most sense. But if we pull up the chart here,
maybe they pay for it.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but I don't actually know. So
I don't know.
Maybe they do. I don't know. It would make sense. But I'm always using their price. But we got so close without actually getting to that 48.6 something on ETH. So I was wrong. I thought we'd tag it today. I wasn't sure we'd hold it because of the possibility of selling the news, but They're still going higher. You just couldn't actually get there, unfortunately, for ETH. But look at that trend. Still trending to the upside.
That's a crazy thing.
Yet BMNR is going down. That's what you have to
I wonder if there's like a rumor about BMNR maybe offering or something. Maybe after hours. We got one yesterday from Circle. So.
Somebody always knows.
All right. With this little bit, was that Randy I just saw? It is Randy. You look like a minion. You know those minions that have which one has the one on?
Didn't see you all through lunch.
Forehead.
Where'd you go?
Were you here this morning, Randy? I didn't see you this morning at all.
Oh.
Came in late. Okay, got some splaining to do.
Threw me off.
That's why I was wondering why you're still here.
I wasn't even sure he was here.
Hey, let me know if there's any coal in that mine. You know? Iron ore? Oh, man.
It's like that, eh?
Lulu. What about Lulu? All right. Is Lulu, is that ripping
Are you
up
buying Lulu? Is that what's going on here? Did it?
Okay.
Lululemon.
Lululemon. I just want to show this weekend.
The $200.
Yeah, I don't mind Lululemon. This weekend we have, here we go. So this is actually, you can't hear the sound, but this is where we won there in Ottawa here. Here's our coaches. We're like, bang, bang, that's me right here. Here it goes. Hey, the umpires, what's up? Of course, we say what's up to them, but we have our tournament happening this weekend here again, and we're excited for that. So I was just looking over some things. This is the High Park all-girls 11 or 12U. We don't have anybody that's 12. My daughter's only 10, but and then I got Gatorade dumped all over me, which was water, which was really nice. So that was nice and refreshing.
Oh, it was cold.
And it's been hot, but we do that again.
Cold.
Yeah, we have the High Park tournament starting this weekend, and we're going to be at the draft on Saturday. So I'm going to be missing the Saturday evening game, but we have one 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, semifinals, finals on Sunday. So.
Sure, I'll give it to the chat.
Booked my ticket for the finals.
I'm undecided. It's a dynasty league on our fantasy football, and I've made a bunch of trades. I'm kind of win now, so I only have 2. I'm only picking 2 players, maybe 3 if I drop Hollywood. And I'm deciding at pick. I only pick 13, and then wherever. I don't even know where my other one is. I think 18 or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm thinking likely I'm choosing between Luther Burden, or Milroe, just to take a shot on the future quarterback. My quarterbacks are Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, and then my QB3 is like Geno Smith. And we're a 2 QB league. You start 2 QBs. Well, so I'm thinking I want to get a young guy like Milroe, but then Burden's upside is too big.
Our boy has you taking Burden. He says, who else is going to be there? Jackson Dart. Is it Scatabo or Scataboo?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know, but he's there. Cam is there. And then near Jalen Milroe.
My backs are ridiculous. I'm not taking a running back.
And then that Quinshawn Judkins.
I'm not taking a dude who might never play a game. Anyways, there's a rookie who hasn't even signed his contract because he beat up on his girlfriend. I would not draft him with a 10-foot pole, but that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you want Tyreek Hill or anything.
Dude might never play. But he might never play. Tyreek Hill is at least playing in the league after doing the nonsense that he did. Stay away from Burden, someone just said. Who said that? Charlie Taff?
Why?
Stay away. Why am I
staying
Minnesota
away from guy, Charlie Taff, I'm pretty sure.
Why am I staying away from Burden? I'll listen to you guys. What the heck is happening to Reggiti? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, that's right. We've sort of stumbled upon that.
Is there really no news here?
No, you know what it is, man? It's just they had their earnings last night. They were hit in the after hours. Adair and I were talking about that yesterday. Whoopsies, what am I doing zooming in like that? I want to zoom the other way.
This is ridiculous.
There it is. So there's the move down, and it just sort of climbed its way back to the point where we opened today pretty flat. Then we got bumped there, fell back in, found a base basically at yesterday's sort of levels there at around 16 or 17. And I think it's just exuberance from breaking this high. Like that was $16.90. Now you're up another $1 for Reggiti going upside. So we can always check, and this is what you can do. You can just go over into, man, even me talking is giving my head a little bit of a spin. That's why I wanted to ask if anybody was sick, because I was like, am I catching strays here? Because normally I feel great, and I just don't want to be too out of it for this weekend. But anyways, QBTS also starting to go up to the upside. The other one would be IonQ that we could have a quick look at over here as well. That's down 3%, so it's not getting the love. And I just got to say shout out to Martin Shkreli. Great call that these things were going to zero. That was way off. Okay, the other stock that we were going to talk about was Tesla. And again, I just want to look at this again. These are what you guys asked for. Look, you guys asked for Palantir, and I put $1 on that stock, so that was a good one. UNH, up 3.5%. So it does take out that 266 level there today. So that was a big one. Tesla's flat on the day. We'll have a quick look on the stock. NVTS was up there 7 or 8%. The only thing I was going to ask is maybe this could freeze here. So see how I'm trying to look at this, Fabian? Like, if I know it keeps changing every time someone goes there, but maybe it could just change every 10 seconds or something as it updates, maybe if that's possible. Remember I asked him for an update, he said it would take forever, and it took like 10 seconds. But there's Palantir, still down 1%. It's Reggiti, it's Bullish there. Now Bullish says up, oh, wait a second, Bullish is at $80. All right, it is starting to break. So let me go back over. Here, I'll just click on it in my blotter. Yeah, all right, so this is a nice level. Did we just break it there on Bullish or no? No, we did not. Wow, okay, let's hit the sirens up there because that was a great supporting trade again. Like I said, you can make money many different ways. If you're fading this 50-period moving average, look how good that's been since it's been in existence, right? It's been pretty awesome. It will hit it there, downside. And then also that 80 dip buy has happened now twice off of a key level. So that's generally the kind of stuff that I look at is just support and resistance levels. So we'll have to wait to see here what's going on with Bullish. I can barely even keep my eyes going. $80, we're going to figure that out on a dip buy opportunity there for Bullish. So let's watch out for that. Coreweave, I don't know what else is happening there. People talk about Coreweave, but watch. I may hit this short. Actually, I'm going to set it up. 79. Oops, I just put 799.
The Bullish.
Yeah, I'm going to go short 79.99. And then see what kind of slippage I get.
That didn't break the high. I tested the slippage earlier on that and was unimpressed with how much.
What? My order did not.
How much it slipped.
Oh,
I just took
for
two things that first happened.
I'm going to go short, just to let everybody know.
Nvidia held VWAP 3 times. The third time, or the fourth time was not a charm. Then I took a shot at Reggiti when I started to see it slow down. If there's no news here, I think it.
Oh,
I
missed.
feel like it's going to pull back.
Oh, I got it. So it broke. Went up, went down, so, oh, there it is.
What the heck happened to my quote?
What the heck? What the helly? Bang, there's $1 just like that on Bullish. So, okay, we'll take it. We're short at 79.80. We just, wow, Neil, what a day your boy is having right now. And we don't have... Oh boy, I better not take tomorrow off. All right, there it goes, man. 78 to the downside. There's $2. There's $2.50 for you on Bullish. We have the trade. We put it on. We told you we were going to do it, and there it goes, man. You know, I may not be the smartest guy, but we're taking trades. We're talking about the trades that we're taking, and we're putting them on, man. So yeah, trader I am, and hopefully we can keep on doing this. We did punch out of a little bit more Palantir as that was happening, but there it goes to the downside. Hopefully we can continue this downside push here for BLSH, but I don't know. I think that we're on one right now. This is a $3. I mean, this is $3 right there. So let's just take some more out. Good trading on Bullish. There it goes, man. We still have half of this position, which is now $3 in the money. As you guys said, no positions, no problem. There's 2 for you. It's Palantir, it's Bullish. And what we've always done is that salute. So we'll give it back to everybody. Thanks for pointing these stocks out on our board.
That was insanity on Bullish. My level 2 literally broke.
Yeah,
it broke, went to 79, went back to 81. Yeah. Like that basically means it could have been, that was insane. It was back at 81 when it was still, the bid was under 980, but the offer was at 81 on that break. I still took a shot at Reggiti here. I said if there's no news, I'm going to take a shot at the top. It's the first red candle I went short. First red candle, short, but don't let it break out that high. It broke out the high. I don't see that there's any stories here going on. It just seems like it's a little post facto earnings play, I suppose. I didn't see anything else really moving the way that this is in the space. So I think it's just a Reggiti story. And we'll probably find out later that someone with a Kathy order, somebody's going to be a buyer here. Or something's going to hit. I would imagine there's something going on with this bad boy. It's just not nothing. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I know our good friend is going to be... I see that short that you got, and I know our friend likes shorting these IPOs.
Yeah, thanks for that, man. I mean, yeah, we're really pleased with this short, man. And yeah, he may like to do something, but we're actually doing it. So there it goes, 76.50 now to the downside. Shout out to everybody that short this play, right? I mean,
oh, shit, that was at 81.5.
Yeah, this is kind of what it is right now. All right, so so I'm getting out of Palantir here right now. I only have right now 10% left on this trade. So we got some out. It broke through 50s there. We got it out. I'm just going to take Palantir out right here if I can. Offer some 20s. Oh my God, we missed us. See, that's what I'm saying. I could have just punched out at 17s or 18s right there, right now. Oh boy, Neil, now it's not 1, not 2, not 3, $4 now on Bullish right there. So yeah, man, we've got it. We got it pretty good. There goes Bullish to the downside. So yeah, it's like there it goes. Yeah, nice move there for BLSH. And again, it just set up, right? We talk about how simple of a trader that I think I am, and that is just play the breaks. We talked about 80 right here. It broke. We got our order set up. Like Neil said, we missed it the first time, and then it just came up, picked us up again, and we got that trade there. I only crossed down 20 cents. That's why I have 79.80. And then boom, right then down there to the bottom right now. We just get out of our Palantir as well. We got our last fill out there at 28s. So that was a good trade. So far here this afternoon, we've definitely started stacking up a little bit. And we just gave you
another one.
So far, so good. I am now out of 75% of this trade because I have no idea where it's going, and I thought Bullish was even going to go higher. But again, we just trade off of the price action. So I'll put another bid here. I'm at bidding at 77.50. If it does come through, then fine. I'm happy though. I'm going to punch out of a little bit more. I just crossed up, hit the 25s right there, and now we'll just wait. So we're getting lighter and lighter on this trade, but again, so far so good here with BLSH.
Yeah, early look just came out. Nothing on BLSH there, but remember, IPOs are very rare that you're going to see an imbalance on them. The only time I ever saw one was on the first week. I believe it was Rivian. Might have been the only one. Nothing crazy. Pfizer's going to be in there. I'm absolutely
Were you in Reggiti? Oh, you were just in Reggiti.
I took the shot. First red candle on a reversion. If you put up a 1-minute chart, fair enough. Like you can make the argument. There you go. On a 1-minute chart, maybe you're in here, but then it's a distinction without a difference. The first red candle on a 3-minute, once it was setting up, that's where I'm taking the shot if there's no news. But this is still going. And now $18 on Reggiti, that's complete insanity. There's no news here. Maybe it gets, someone just said if Reggiti's going to 20, 20 would be the high. Like that's 20.5, 20.90, something along those lines. 2140 on the daily chart, but that could just be a wick high. That's the beginning of the year. Literally at the beginning of the year, this is where these bad boys were. And on earnings, it was a bit of a disappointment. Steve Canyon, I'm sure there were upgrades on Reggiti, but this move right here wasn't some kind of a midday upgrade. This just started happening. It could be short covering, I don't know, but there's a program buy here in Reggiti looking, okay, it looks like it might be back end again. It just kind of lost the 18 level, right back in. I want to see this. I want to see some sellers come back in here to the 18. So they just tried to buy it back up to 18 even and got met at 85 with resistance. I'm going to try and grab these 85s. If it's going to give it to me, stop at 18 is already going to be in. And I like the stop that we can put in before we're in position. Although, if you're trading with real trading, your fastest stop is going to be not the script stop. You want one that sits in Jersey, but you can't use that one while having an order out there and be already covered. So I'm already covered at 18. If I can get the 85s where the seller is, then I'm going to jump into Reggiti here. Someone put a buy rating at 18 on the stock. That could be a coincidence that it turned at that price. Who knows? But to me, that's not what drove this move here. It could have just been short covering, program, whatever it might have been. Doesn't matter. There's no specific news.
All right, I'm just tweeting it out. Just took the 80 break here on BLSH. Go follow me at tradertv. Sean, I put the trades up. I put the sticky note up as well. And this time I'm actually going to show the level 2 on here. So we just tweet that out right now. Go get it, man. We have over 500,000 subscribers. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe button. If you're looking for trades like this, even Neil took the shot on Reggiti, right? This is what happens. Everybody has their different trading style, and sometimes it can work out. And right now, this is now $5 in the money on this 80 break, but there it is. There's the break on that. We actually retweeted that bespoke thing. I thought that was pretty cool too, to see the different sectors and what they've been doing. And there's our sticky note of the day right there with some plays. And then tonight we don't post anything up, but it's going to be Cisco. Join Neil and Adara as they talk Cisco earnings tonight, AH. Okay, so I'm going to put a bid now at 75.15s. why not? So we'll just put it there. We'll see if we get to fill back down. Hopefully there'll be another little bit of a liquidity vacuum that will just eat this thing up. And there it goes. Break yourself. We should probably get it. The momentum is definitely to the downside. I don't know where this is going to close, but just to give everyone an idea, right now I only have or about 15% of the shares left right now, and I'm going to stop out if it breaks back above where we're in. So I'm in at 80 right there. If it does break back above, then we'll take that trade. So I'll take it off. But right now, still in 15%, and I'm not willing to give any of it back, and we'll do that. So we're waiting. All right, that's bullish now. The stock is not very bullish, right? I think this could be pretty low by the time we get to this thing. Even tomorrow, I think it's a day 2 short, probably in there as well. The Nasdaq's at 0 right now. So, I mean, we could check out.
ES is up, though.
Is it? Yeah, I was going to look at maybe the banks. Coreweave today, nasty, to be honest with you. There was really no bounce. I mean, sure, you get the bounce, but you don't get the VWAP. We always want to see VWAP get taken because that way the buyers and the sellers, they come together and they figure out what the volume weighted average price is. But 126 right there seems to have been a nice little top, but the fade out didn't get up to that high, or sort of the rebound higher, and the fade started to happen there around 124 and change. I got to talk less because A, it'll be better for everybody, and then B, it'll be better for my headache right now. So we're going to do that. All right. I don't know if there's any other stocks you're looking at or if we need to do anything right now, but I'm just watching Bullish and Coreweave. We could talk about Reggiti.
Well, if you look at, and I'm going to show you guys right here on eSignal, one of the features, which I'll get to in a second, but really I can just come to the chart here for eSignal. Remember, I was this is a 5-second chart on eSignal. Remember I said at 85, this is weird because I was just looking at a level 2 when I saw this, and you're seeing it start to come back in. I'm going to look to see what happens at that 85 zone. But remember, this is a 5-second chart that I'm using on eSignal as it buys back into that range. This is where, and then the sellers jumped in the first time through.
Dude, weed stocks are going crazy.
So I literally just executed to get in, move my stop to the 85, because that makes a lot of sense. See how they came right back in the same price? As it was coming down, it started to buy back up. It rejected the 85, and you heard me say that out loud. And then it comes back in and just rejects the same thing. So this is kind of impromptu, but I guess we're putting up eSignal anyways. One of the advantages at eSignal that you can take advantage of free for 1 month is 5-second charts, live level 2s, the imbalance locator, trading through 50+ brokers. You can execute your trades right there on the broker side. You can automate your trades. You can backtest your strategies. You want to see how the volume weighted average, maybe like a moving average works, simple moving average. VWAP is VWAP, it's pretty simple. Maybe you want to use Fibonacci's and test those out for you. Maybe they work on Reggiti. Maybe they work on Bullish. Maybe they're great for IPOs. You don't know if you don't try. And you get to try for free with eSignal, and I think it's a great platform. I'm going to use, I think on parabolic movers, this is getting interesting. On IPOs and parabolic movers, I'm opening the idea that you can see some good things on a 5-second or a lower time frame chart, which, I've never used them really. I started looking at them maybe a couple months ago for the first time, and then this is the longest look I've had at it. But you can literally see, like what I was seeing on the level 2 with guesswork, you were seeing pretty clearly on that 5 minute. You can see it slow down and then it curled. And when it made that curl, you literally had time to punch short. You could see it topping at 80 on a 5-second chart, and you could just get the fill. Like, it's crazy. So the 1 minute chart, I think you can overtrade if you're way too focused on lower time frame charts. But let's be real, there's a place for everything. And you got to try new things out there. I found it incredibly informative going back over on Bullish on a 5-second chart just to be able to gauge what the risk was on the trade and go back and then be able to size the next one appropriately, which will be, I don't know, what do we think's next? Discord, maybe. Who's coming next? What's the next IPO, everybody? What's the next big IPO that we're expecting to get?
There's probably something in the pipeline because I didn't even heard of Bullish before.
No, not until it was like the release was coming. I didn't know.
So I have my account open right now, and
Stripe? Is that the next one?
Stripe? Well, Klarna was supposed to come, I'm not excited. I won't even.
Klarna's been trying to come in. Klarna's been a while.
Honestly, Stripe and Klarna and all that, I probably won't even participate.
That's a different story.
I won't do it the same. I won't go
space.
hard like that. I'm looking at my account. Tilray right now up 30%. Tilray now up from 38 cents to 128. So it's up a couple 100% there. I'm looking at my account. I'm still down 89% on my Tilray. Oh, trading. That's, yeah, let's do this, man. Should have been doing less.
Speaking of that, I know I joke around about this a lot.
Oh, by the way, there's 75 on Bullish.
That was an absolute lark, and as a joke, I pulled up the chart of what's happened since Mullen changed their name in a reverse split. Any guesses?
What was it, Mullen?
Yeah, guess where it went today? $1.05. It is 1 day away from being a penny stock again. They changed the name, they reverse split, and within 2 weeks, it's going to be a penny stock again. There's got to be some kind of a record for the most disgusting company in the world. They win it. No, but it's who the heck actually buys that thing? That's what I want to know. I'd love to know who actually is a buyer of that stock. It shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. But anyways, I have no idea how many times they can reverse split. Someone explain those rules to me because I think there should be rules. The target's 17 here on Reggiti, which should be obvious. Well, it's not obvious. It's obvious to me. 2 reasons. 1, prior high. 2, look where the acceleration came in. It was right here at about 17 to 17.10. It was steady, and then it exploded. So that's the area to look for. But I'm liking what I see here on this. It's still on Reggiti. I'm liking what I see on that chart. It's starting to catch a bit at the 20 level, so I'm willing to just punch out when I see that. That 5-second chart, like it shows me the buy, you jump out, and it's trying to catch that bid. So anyway, mean reversion there on Reggiti, but not a good entry point. I actually think I should be using this to enter. If I was using the 5-second, you might have been able to have 18 to 17.20 instead of 17.80 to 17.20. Either way, take a few points out of that bad boy. Yep, you can get it a lot of ways, and bless you, Assassino.
Neil, check out Bullish right now. $7 right now in the money. And going lower, Joseph. Right there. I'm just glad to have taken that 80 break. We just covered some more there at 73. It may have just bounced. Again, we only had 15%. Now we'll have 12%. Now we have 10% actually as we go down there and get that cover. So yeah, it's a decent move down there. But you know, we're just a trader, and I'm just going to watch this into the close. I mean, my stop, guys, I told you our stop was 20 cents, right, on this trade, and it has never done anything here except for tank. So I don't know. I mean, we always cover some. We'll cover a lot of it. I have no idea what was going on. When this kept bouncing off of 77 right here, it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So nothing was really happening there. And then eventually there's the flush. And, you know, we talk about that breaking spot, right? When you get caught in the liquidity volume there, liquidity tunnel, you could see what winds up happening just straight to the downside. So here it comes again. Now we're going to really start to excel. But there's the bullish trade there. I don't know if you guys, we talked about paying for shorts. Well, we just made that money back. But there it goes. Nice move to the downside to sort of cap off what has been quite the day. And we want to thank everybody for joining us. I mean, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I mean, Neil just had that good trade there on Reggiti. And now we have $8 right there on Bullish. So yeah, so far so good on that play. And yeah, it just keeps on going to the bottom. We have 7 minutes now until those imbalances. But I am just like, honestly, it's been a good one. And this is a simple trade, man. We broke that level. So I just want, you know, next time you're here, we were talking about it as well, that you can make money long and short on this. And I was even saying, like, potentially the short was even better than that long, because the long you take a lot of risk that this is actually what's going to happen and not this. But right now, there it goes, flushing to the downside. Your boy on this side's got it, and we got to go over now to Adara, BTC and ETH apparently, both at highs, 122.3 right now going. But yeah, the trading continues. It's bullish, but bearish at the same time.
Also at high shot are some of these pharma plays, including PFE, actually just breaking out into high of day. I'm hearing here that apparently sources are saying that the U.S. government's announcement on the pharma sector probe and tariffs is unlikely for at least a few weeks. So we're not expected to have this, I guess, announcement here for these pharma tariffs, which Trump have indicated could go above 100% until at least a couple weeks. Again, this is just a report. Back to you.
We've been waiting around for those numbers for a while. Peter Thiel laughing to the bank, Drago says, yeah, but they always do. Like, remember, like when you hear Cathie Wood and who else bought this one? Like, you had like some big names that were going to be in here, of course, buying up Bullish. But remember, they got $37, right? Like they can't sell it right away. And we got questions about this actually on the chat. A lot of people were talking about, well, on Bullish, are there rules? Do you actually see that you can't sell and there's penalties? Like Robinhood had penalties if you sell right away if they give you an allocation. That is normal and then the lockup expiry is going to matter too. That'll be in 180 days. I believe it's Coreweave comes out in a month and 12 days or something like that for Coreweave. But they're a double up from 37. You're going to hear other programs talk about how Bullish had a fantastic debut. This is what they're going to say. Fantastic debut, 94% to the upside or whatever it ends up being. But really, it actually was a short for all but about 5 minutes on the chart. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. So that's what one thing that I don't like about those programs. They're not really giving you the juice or the goods. I'm going to have eyeballs on this. The buyer that we saw on the 5-second chart ends up respecting on Reggiti. So I thought maybe 17, but the buyers were there on the 5-second chart at 17.20, and that's just the prior high, and it bounces right back through. If this thing is done for the day, then I think it should respect underneath 1785 where the sellers came before. So I might keep my eyeball on that 5-second chart just to see if it still works up at that 1785 zone there. So I'm going to leave it on this. It's a new thing that I've been looking at. It already worked twice, timing the trade. So I want to see it get back up to 1785. We'll need to get rid of these moving averages because they seem to mean absolutely nothing on a time frame this low, but I can just ignore them for sure. 3 minutes to the imbalances. I'll be looking at 2 names pretty much, and maybe Nvidia just in case. They had a small one yesterday.
All right. I mean, we're almost in the $10 club there. It just went down to $70.66, so it pretty much was. It was $9, and we didn't take it. So we're going to wait now for $70. All right, so yeah, what else, man? Let's go look over Tesla right here. I'm going to be in tomorrow, not in on Friday, as we just talked about the tournament. So you'll be getting some trades, some great trades again with Obi and Neil. They'll be on there on Friday, so similar to last Friday. Look forward to that. Tesla right there, 340, just kind of like not doing a whole heck of a lot right in there, but yeah, Tesla into the close, not really moving. So we'll have to wait to see if there's any sort of an actionable trade there. Mara, let's have a quick look at Mara. Some of these other names, like blockchain names, you could see what's happening right now with crypto. It is like going, so we could quickly, I use this for the VIX, but I like to use it also for Bitcoin. So we'll just type in here Bitcoin, and we'll just look at it on Coinbase. So yeah, there it goes. This is a daily, so we don't need to do that quickly. Let's just do 45 minutes or 30 minutes. Yeah, so there's the new high break. So I don't know, Joe's now left, Sharif is left as well, but they had some sort of a bet. I don't know which side someone took.
What was the bet?
But just would crypto or would Bitcoin break through all-time highs this afternoon? It has done that, so there it goes. All-time highs now for Bitcoin, so congratulations on that one. And then Ethereum, we'll want to look at that same way.
Did it?
Let's look at Ethereum there, Coinbase. Yeah, nice move up there for Ethereum. As you can see, this has been really climbing, man. This was just $3,500 basically a week ago, and now you're at 4,700. So yeah, acting like a stock on crack as well. There goes Ethereum, nicely cooking to the upside. The look on Ethereum is looking for an all-time high break, which I'm guessing is
48.60.
Yeah, you looked at it earlier. Yeah, 48.77 or so, something like that for an all-time high. I would say that we're probably going to break that this afternoon or this evening. on Ethereum. So yeah, everything right now is blasting to the high side, including my guy. I'm actually most invested in as individual coins in Solana. So right there, Solana against the US dollar, they still have a ways to go to get back to highs as well. But that's a key level that we're at right now on Solana, 206 and change. So if we can break there, then you are probably imminent for all-time highs again, which would be 260, which is another 20% higher. Can we get to that? Probably. I mean, it's up 29% this week is Solana. So yes, we can. And yes, we can, Neil. Hopefully, we'll be able to put on a $10 winner for you guys on Bullish. And again, it's not nothing. I mean, 10 is sure, it's a little feather in the cap, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to see what happens around $70. The dip down, I'm bidding $70.25. The lowest we got was $70.66. But hey, if you're joining us for the first time right now, I had on Palantir, which worked great. We just put that in right there for you. It did break through below, but we were already out of it, so that was a good trade. And then we put on Bullish, which was bearish. So that one hopefully can come back in and get us that fill with only now 15 seconds until imbalances.
Yeah, 15 seconds to go. Apparently, it's close, but not quite that all-time high on Bitcoin. It got really, really close, though, if you zoom it out a bit further. Before we get the imbalances quickly, Google came all the way back on that headline. Pretty much right to where it dropped off and is now starting to fall just a little bit, but so far, imbalances, they're starting to come in there. PAC-B, oh my goodness, that's a $1 stock.
Yeah.
IQ is a $3 million sell, that's a $2 stock. Pacific Biosciences, $2.9 million. Well, maybe Kathy was not that happy because that's one of hers as well. Nvidia, $1.1 million to the buy side, that's absolutely nothing. NTLA, $1 million, that's also nothing. Nike, $9 million sell. Oh no, Lulu was having a good day. I wonder what Nike was doing. Walmart, no, that's nothing. Snapchat, nothing. Walmart, nothing. So really the big names are a couple of really cheap stocks, IQ and Pacific Biosciences. I had no idea that was a one. Can't believe that could be a penny stock. Hey, maybe it's catching a little bit of a bottom. I don't know much about the genomic names, but this was, oh, it already went underneath the dollar. Never mind. It's already bounced back. PAC-B. Yuck, yuck, yuck. If you zoom this chart even further out, it looks even worse. So no point. Nasty, nasty. Nasty, nasty look. But if it's the future, you never really know. I feel like the genomic play has been around since like the Clinton era, that was supposed to be the next thing. Like, legitimately true. Like it's been from before I was a day trader that it was supposed to be a thing, and that's over 20 years ago, and nothing's really come of it yet. But it might happen. Just not for PAC-B apparently.
Yeah, not for PAC-B right here as. Yeah, PAC-B was the...
That's a Cathy Wood genomics play.
Oh, you know what I was thinking about was one of those banks that went under, Pacific. What was that symbol?
No, that was... damn it.
They're gone now, but...
Darn it, I mean.
That's Pacific Biosciences. That was what I was thinking about. So it does look like Tesla just overtook the lead here. These are very, very small imbalances, as Neil had mentioned. So Tesla, like, what is Tesla even doing? Like, this is not much happening over there. Oh, I did want to just check back. This isn't $8, but I put a stop here if we break 74. So that's going to be the high. We have to get out of these trades before the market
Pacific
closes.
West.
Yeah, PAC West.
PAC West.
PAC W it was, I think, not PAC B.
And someone said
PAC Man.
Save Man Woman. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot.
First.
You heard it here first. It's this Save Man Woman in the chat. It's not genome, it's protein. That's the effect of that mapping. Don't miss protein. Now, first of all, I was pretty good in math. I'm absolutely terrible in everything related to biology. It was okay in chemistry because I like the math portion of that. And hated labs. So I don't know what you're talking about. That being said, send me something to read, and send a name to look at. Always interested in trying to learn something, but. Yeah, if PAC-B is not the thing and you have an idea what might be, let us know. Always willing to read up and maybe try to find something new. Clearly, these bad boys are nasty. This thing, I just know. I remember during COVID. I won't say any names. I know somebody that really, really liked the stock because Cathy Wood liked it. That's why I happen to know about PAC-B. Don't really know too much else. Other than that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either.
No, I leave it at that. I have a friend who got involved in this because it was one of her stocks, and obviously it never ended well. I've never invested in it myself. I'm kind of curious.
I'm the only arc that I'm in is the robotics.
The robotics
ETF,
one.
and I've been in that for years and years. So I don't know. I don't even know what it's doing. I'm not.
And maybe she doesn't even have that much of the stock in it. I have no idea.
Not even in it that.
It was a $50 stock in COVID highs.
What is it? ARKQ.
Dollar.
Robotics one. Yeah. Okay. So this is what it was. Remember, we used to have that guy on here. Raider Trader, shout out to Raider Trader there. He hasn't been on in a minute. He's doing something in Florida. I don't know what
Miami.
he's doing, but no, it's not ARK. What am I doing? ARKQ is the one I was looking at right here. So this is the robotics ETF, and he had some plays about robots. So give you an idea.
I don't know what names though.
That's the thing. So I remember he was on here, but yeah, this has gone straight up right there. So I am in this name. I will double check it tonight to see where exactly. But yeah, the robotics trade, and this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not. We could throw as much shade on Cathie Wood as anybody wants to, but you know, at the end of the day, there are some ETFs here that make a little bit of sense, and the robotics one definitely for me did. And I remember bringing this to his attention because I was sort of already in before he had mentioned that, and then there was maybe some other ETFs as well. But let me just go back to Tesla here because we do have to talk about one thing, and that is Trade the Pool, of course. They do have a new free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trade strategies. You can scan that QR code right there. To grab that, you'll see exactly the approach to the markets, what kind of trading, and how they manage risk, what setups they rely on, and how you can learn. I mean, Neil and I talk about this every day, learning and showing you strategies, such as this one on Bullish. But download it now by scanning that QR code on your screen and or hitting that link in description. I'm going to go home and drink as much water as possible.
Hydration is
to ensure that we are here tomorrow, because we cannot miss that trade one more time. And I want to thank everybody for being here today with us. And as I look over here, I have to see, my thing never changes over, and then whenever it does, I have to refresh it. So let me just take a quick look here. We only have 574 likes, which is almost exactly 10% actually, right there. 5,761 watching, 575 likes, guys. Let's see if we can get this up to 1,000. We only have 4 minutes left. If you're watching right now, please hit the like button. I think we've done fantastic here so far. I know Neil had that Reggiti trade. We've got on Bullish right now, which is 850 in the money. I'm actually just going to take a bid here. That's me bidding 38s right now. I don't really know why we're bidding it, but we are. So we're bidding that 38. See, we're holding the level. Hopefully it swipes. There it goes. Swipes down and gives it to us. That's a hot dog cannon all day there. So now I can cancel my 70. Oh, now it's coming in. We'll cancel our 70 bid and see if it flushes down to the downside. But it is. We have these kind of cool things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 right there in the money. As Warren, I'm already employed, my guy. But here we go. It's a nice move to the downside, trying to break through $70. It's a $10 winner, Mr. Neil there. And we're just going to get ready for the closing trade, but the closing show. But I don't know. I'm just going to hold this. I'll probably get out just a couple minutes after hours. But there it goes, BLSH to the south side.
Great trade there for sure. I tried to answer a question for Disney, Lloyd, Land Royalty in the chat. CRE, why is it down? I couldn't find a thing for you. Obviously, I couldn't find anything on this, but something happened obviously last night, and the stock is absolutely tanking. I mean, I wouldn't touch anything without knowing what's going on, but that's nasty. And then I was asked, before I get up to the desk, someone's asked for a second time, CRM bottom. It's starting to look like it. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow, maybe this. Certainly, I'm looking at it this week, by the end of the week for CRM. I've been talking a lot about this one. I'm talking about in the PA. On the weekly chart, here's what I'm seeing on CRM. There's the hold at 230 to 231. It's a 200 period on the weekly, but it's a weekly chart. So in theory, I should be waiting and then putting it on Monday. But I think CRM is at the level now, and you got a bottom wick at the right price. So this is one I want to pull the trigger on anyways.
Me too. And IBM I like.
Well, I like IBM too, but this one, I like this one at the level. Like CRM on the weekly chart, it's just a good setup at the weekly. That way, if it loses, if the next week it's under 220, that's you're risking 10% to be able to try to hold it. So we get a lot of questions about it. But really, if I'm listening to myself, that's a weekly chart, needs to hold for Friday, and then buy it on Monday would be the play. So that's probably what I'll do. Now, speaking out loud to myself, there's only 2 minutes to go. I got to make sure I'm set up at the desk. Is that going to break 70?
That's the plan, my guy.
Well, it's going to break 70. Oh, there's something we learned that I forgot to mention. We'll talk about it tomorrow with the IPOs, just in terms of like liquidity at the open, and certainly making sure you set up your keys and all that stuff. But and using different stop orders, because talking to another trader about the level of slippage between different stops and how much better it was with one versus the other. So that's something we can discuss tomorrow for everyone at Real Trading. You could save yourself a boatload by having a specific type of stop order if you have access to multiple ones.
Right. I'm interested in that too because I only use one. So right now, $70 is looking like it wants to break on BLSH. So it will be a $10 winner here on the short. Look at the size that's there. So again, people are going to need to pay for shorts to hit that. But if you are already long, you could hit it and get out. So there it goes. Watch this thing disappear here. That's 200,000 shares, right? So every single thing that you see on the level 2 is 100 shares. So that little order there was just 200,000 shares, and we just saw it sort of absorb that. I wanted to go over Coreweave again as well. I wish Sharif was still here because I thought that he was talking about an option on this, and if Joe was still here, he would know as well. But Coreweave ending the day, not nice. Fabian, you want to get that bell? We don't have too much longer here. I don't know who wants to do it. I think Dara's coming over, but right now here, the countdown is on very, very soon. We're going to watch out. Here's Bullish right now. It is going to take that level down right now at $70, as there it goes, 8,000, 70,000, 60,000, 50,000, and sold to the downside as the countdown is now on, as there it goes, man. Now more than $10 in the money. 5, we're a little bit late there. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you, Adara, for that one. And there it is. This is brought to you by VinFast. The closing bell brought to you by VinFast. For more information, please scan that QR code right there on your screen and find out more about VinFast and what they're doing there in Vietnam. So, yeah, fantastic trading today. I want to thank everybody for hitting that like. And we asked for 1,000. I thought that was getting a little bit greedy, but you guys gave us 853. So thank you so much for all of that. Awesome job. For hitting that like button and, you know, just telling YouTube where your eyeballs are at this afternoon. Thank you. It does mean a lot to us here as we try to, you know, get this show to as many people as possible. It is completely free, the show. We want to thank everybody for all of the super chats that come in. And as you can see, we are putting all of this money into work to give you the best experience possible. And there are lots of things happening behind us right now. The desks are being put into place. We are very, very excited. And today's trading definitely helped out with some of the P&L of that project. So yeah, nice move down here for Bullish. $10, we'll take it. We got to stop ourselves out. I got to get out of here. Anyways, taking my kid to go get his haircut tonight, as I don't know if my daughter's back from Wonderland or not, but peace out to everybody. Thank you so much from everybody here at Trader TV Live, including Andre, including Mark, including everybody you've seen on the show today, Sharif, Joseph, Neil and Adara, thank you to them, but you're going to see them in just a minute. Ramin back over there as well, Fabian, everybody that's sort of made today and every day what it is here at Trader TV Live. All right, I'm Sean. Thank you so much for watching. Go follow us all on socials. Until tomorrow, ciao.
Thank you, Sean. Welcome to the Market Recap, brought to you by Beta Pro, by Globex. The earnings name we're going to be waiting for in about 4 minutes or so is going to be Cisco. You never know, could come early. We've seen it happen before, but they are the biggest name. The Four Horsemen back in the day. If you're old enough to remember the Four Horsemen, then yeah, you've been around a minute, but that's old is becoming good again. Cisco is actually near some highs today. Very bullish move for Cisco on the daily chart, but a bit of a bearish tone for what was a successful IPO. It's a weird one because you're going to hear lots of traders say how great Bullish was as a long, but really, this one disappointed in terms of price action to the downside. Circle was a gangbuster in a similar space and went up for multiple days in a row. Bullish, you had 2 chances to go long in this thing, directly at the open and then when it held $80. And ever since then, it's just been an absolute short. A bit of a weird day in the market. We had a bunch of moves in the middle of the day, Adara. When you had that as Apple and maybe you getting a robot, and then you had Alphabet flushing on a kind of an odd story that we didn't think would affect it that much. Strange day today.
It was a bizarre day, and I think it started with that Bullish IPO. Like, we were talking about this off camera, and I mentioned this in the midday as well. I actually had a limit on open order that weirdly did not fill at the open. It filled several seconds later and $4 higher. So, bit of an interesting story. This was my first ever IPO trade live, and also my first ever Lou order for an IPO. So I learned a lot. I will say as well, the thing I learned as well is just watching this 1 minute chart, that 103 level, I realized that just kind of the way we were breaking down a bit on the 1 minute, I thought maybe this could be a short. I didn't have locates on it. That's my bad. I think next time I will certainly prepare. But I will say, you learn from every trade you take, in this case, the IPO, and you also learn sometimes from the trades you don't take, like this short, because I learned next time, if you see something like that, just get it. Sean says this all the time, you don't, just take the trade. I did not take the trade here, though I did actually on the open, of course, but not when I saw these shorts later. It is what it is, and I'm going to learn from it 100%. But yeah, this is certainly, I think, a really good day for reflection for the market as well, because it was super herky-jerky, Neil. Like, things would be, wicking you out. Things would be moving all crazy. It seemed like something would be in a pattern, and then it would go wild. CRM had a good day somehow. Eli Lilly had a good day somehow. So yeah, maybe a bit of a change in the tides for the market. And
rotation,
saying a lot too right now.
Sorry not to cut you off, but rotation, just to the point that you were making, it sometimes feels like that. A bunch of things make some highs, and really we had some pullback. It wasn't that great of a day when you looked at the morning on something like an Nvidia. Looking at that trend was not very good, and we've been talking about Lilly catching a bid. UNH has been going for a couple of days. I would venture to say it was actually a strong bounce off the lows for some of the chip names, so not that bad. It ends up only down 1.5% there on Nvidia in particular, but a rotation seems like it has happened. Cisco should be out in just about 1 minute, but we have some news before that.
I have Lunar Intuitive Machines news, LUNR, apparently planning a $250 million convertible senior note offering due October 1st, 2023. Keep an eye on LUNR. I don't have Cisco earnings yet. It's also worth noting apparently some institutions are starting to drop their 13Fs, so be aware of that.
Everyone's waiting to see what the mystery stock Berkshire was buying. Maybe it was UNH, maybe it's not. We have no idea. We're going to find out. 13F is always an interesting season. I mean, it just tells you what's already happened. Some people like to act on it, but Lunar, LUNR, tanks down 10%, so that'll be a double-digit one for tomorrow. Flushing, and of course, Adara gave you the news. And Cisco, well, that's one less horse than it was before. Now down to 68. Look, it's only down 3% so far after earnings, but the implied move was only 5.5% for Cisco, so that would be a pretty decent move, half that implied, but it is starting to bounce here. What are the numbers, Adara?
Yeah, the numbers are actually a double beat, Neil. I don't have the guidance or anything else yet, so there could be context I'm missing, but I'll give you the numbers. Q4 adjusted earnings of 99 cents per share versus 97 expected. That would be a beat. Sales were also a beat, $14.673 billion versus $14.617 billion expected. Now, it's worth noting both these beats are kind of fairly narrow, like it's pretty close to what the estimates were. But either way, I mean, they did double beat. Let's see how this is interpreted by the market right now. It is not interpreted particularly well.
No, not at all. It's interesting. For the double beat, seems like a bit of disappointment. Like you said, we don't actually have the guidance, and maybe that's going to be the guidance, but that's not out as far as I'm concerned. Maybe someone knows something that we don't. Looks like Longeveron here as well, I'm seeing. Like Cisco's the biggie. I guess it's the big biggie
I have their
today.
guidance.
Oh, you have the guidance on Cisco?
It's
got to be bad.
It's actually not. So this is where I get confused. This is for the fiscal year, mind you. I don't know what Q1 26 is going to be. I can talk about Longeveron in a second as well. But Cisco, they're seeing adjusted earnings between $4 and $4.06 per share for fiscal 2026. That is well above, Neil, the estimate of $379. Their sales also well above estimates. $59 billion to $60 billion they expect for fiscal 26 compared to estimates of $56.623 billion. Longeveron. Let's talk about it. And we are talking about revenue in the hundreds of thousands here and not the millions, which I'm saying mostly to remind myself so I don't accidentally say millions again like I did last time. Longeveron Q2 revenue of $298,000 versus $420,500 expected. That would be a pretty steep miss. Gross profit of $146,000. Operating expenses, $5.54 million. Big yikes. Operating loss here is $5.4 million versus $5.6 million expected, so slightly narrower loss than expected, it looks like. Their net loss was actually also a little bit narrower than expected, so these losses, like the narrower than expected loss seems to be the best thing for Longeveron, but that is a pretty nasty sales miss. I also have Cisco quarterly guidance. As I said, I was thinking this could be maybe what it is. It looks like this might be what it is, Neil. They didn't miss on their quarterly guidance for Cisco, but it's a bit tight. So they guided Q1 adjusted earnings between 97 and 99 cents per share versus 97 cents expected. They guided sales. I'll just move this so you guys can see it. They guided sales between 14.65 billion to 14.85 billion versus 14.62 billion expected. So neither of these are misses, to be clear. They're actually beats, but they're all very the lower end of these ranges is really close to the actual estimate, so it's kind of closer to in line to some extent. I just don't think it's exuberant as the market wanted.
Yeah, it could just, sometimes that's just all it is. You're at the all-time highs. Effectively, Cisco was at its top 2 days ago.
I have more as well.
And then just pull back. So sometimes it's about where you've been and market's getting a little bit of toppy. It's not the first time we've seen good numbers in the space, and then all of a sudden you're to the downside. That said, it's usually represented a bit of a buying opportunity. The prior high here is about $70, and it's holding that right now over there on Cisco as it's trying to climb back. You're looking where you can catch a bid. It makes some sense if it can hold that 70. That would look a little bit better. Now, the 50 period on the daily sits at 67.7. So it did tag the 50 period, break it a little bit, and then come back in. So that would be the concern if you lose that 50 period on the daily. I'm always a little bit concerned, but let's be real. Not that bad of a report, but all that really matters is price action. Price does not lie. It can be, it can give you an indication, no questions asked, but you can beat, you can miss. Who knows? We saw Reggiti didn't do anything after their earnings, went down after their earnings, did nothing most of the day, and then went all ham in the afternoon. It doesn't really make a difference. Just make sure you follow that price action. I did see, and I want to note, I saw a few people in the chat mentioning this, and in the vein of looking at what some of the IPOs did, of course, Bullish had a bearish type of day outside of the first couple of minutes. Coreweave ends the day at the lows at 116, still falling in the aftermarket, down 21%.
That was a sweet short.
Coreweave.
Yeah.
21%. It lost everything today. It rejected 50 yesterday. It lost the 50 period on the daily. On the lower time frame, it popped and dropped at the open. 130 was then a break. Coreweave took it on the chin. And that was that's an IPO that went 4.5 times from its open price, and it's still almost a triple up from the lows, despite a 20% pullback. But you seem excited about it. I take it you got a short.
Yeah, I did short Coreweave. I can show the chart. I did 3 pops at it. One of them was flat. The other 2 worked. Here you are. So basically what happened here was I wanted that 130.5 breakdown because that has been a level of support, not just earlier today. I mean, you talked about this. This is my type of dream chart. You've seen, this is the type of chart I like, just the slope to the downside. People always joke in the chat that I'm more bearish biased. I'm not necessarily, but I think a lot of my playbook setups do tend to slant.
I think
to the
you
short
are,
side.
which is fine.
So I think that's
It's
fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just, I will take longs, but I more often take shorts. So I basically ended up break even on this. I should not have moved my stop. I should have kept my stop at that 134 area. That's fine. Regardless, then I get back in when we break this kind of low a day. I added twice and then took the last piece of this out at 120 before getting stopped out. Then I got in one last time and it looked like we were going to break the low again. I basically drew a little bit of a bear flag. So where we broke the bottom part of the uptrend in the bear flag, that's where I got short again. Add, Kodunk. I did not realize it got to 116. I'm sad I got out. It looks like a couple minutes early, but it is what it is.
And still falling after market. Ugh.
That's wild. But yeah, that was the Coreweave trade. I want to talk here about, have a good night, Sean. I want to talk a bit about Coherent,
Hydrate.
if I may. So COHR, the company, people are asking me here about earnings. I will say that we don't have earnings on it yet. They come out at 4:15, but I will talk about the reason they're down because there actually is a catalyst here for COHR. Please don't cover the chart with my face, guys, just because I want to make sure we can see all the words. So Coherent is announcing it's going to be selling its aerospace and defense business to Advent for $400 million. That's why it's down. They have not even released their earnings yet. Their earnings are coming out at 4:15. I talked about Longeveron. I do have a couple more details on Cisco, Neil, if I may. So Cisco service revenue was actually a little bit of a miss, so a bit lower than expected here for service revenue. Adjusted gross profit margin, slight beat. Remaining performance obligations was a beat. Q1 revenue guide, we talked about that. In line, but generally higher on the high end. Q1 adjusted gross margin, also in line. We talked about their guidance already for fiscal 2025, pretty strong. But yeah, I think this service revenue miss and this, I guess, Q1 revenue guide maybe being a bit in line, those could maybe be where the issues were, but that is the look there on CSCO, and I will stop talking now.
Yeah, thank you, Adara. And look, the Coherent, that's a weird one because usually you sell a portion of your business, you're supposed to get a spike because why you sell. The whole idea behind selling a portion of your business is A, to generate cash, B, to focus on other things which are supposed to be positive for you. So either that's like the market telling you that you're making a mistake if you're down, or B, you didn't get enough for it. So yeah, not good for Coherent. Then we'll wait for the earnings. That doesn't look good at all. It doesn't sound good. Don't like it. But unfortunately for Cisco, I don't like it. This one's still, I mean, it's catching a bit of a bid. It's back above the 67. Can't seem to battle with that 70 very well. Every time it bounces up, it's rejecting that $70 level here. Oh, we've got more Alphabet news. That's another thing. We got that Alphabet news earlier, which we didn't think would be a big deal. It recovered, and it's right back. It's still at 202, the exact spot when that story hit. About, I guess it's a regulation thing with the wallets. Maybe they're just going into compliance, and it's kind of a nothing burger. But with new news for Google here,
I'm not sure this news is going to be huge either, but apparently they're investing an additional $9 billion in Oklahoma within the next 2 years for cloud and AI infrastructure.
Okay.
I want to mention as well, we have more comments coming from Stephen Moran, who is Trump's economic council advisor. He's also being tapped to be the new Fed member, replacing Kugler for a couple months. And he's saying basically the same thing he always says. There's no evidence of tariff-induced inflation. Medium-term inflation expectations are pretty tame. If there's anything else from him, I'll let you know, but it's worth noting he is speaking. A couple seconds away here from Coherent earnings. If there's anything else anyone wants, just tag me in the chat and ask, and I will look into it. Sometimes there isn't news, sometimes there is. Someone was asking about Snowflake in the chat. I responded it could be potentially sympathy to Coreweave, but actually looking at it, or sorry, not Coreweave, Cisco. But looking at the chart, and it's actually not doing anything, so unclear why you asked.
Yeah, it's not moving at all.
Sorry about that, guys.
Well, it could be, maybe you're just curious about Snowflake in general because it got beaten up the last couple of days.
Fair.
That's
Coherent
entirely
numbers.
possible. But Coherent finally out. I still think that's a little bit weird, the move that Coherent had, but let's see what the numbers are. It's finally... That's picking up in volume a little bit here, but not too much. Still at those lows.
So revenue here is $1.53 billion. That is a beat compared to estimates of $1.51 billion, and it's up 16.4% year over year. Earnings of $1 per share above estimates of 92 cents per share. They actually beat on both EPS and revenue, and apparently their revenue actually hit a record, I'm guessing just on the quarter here, driven by their AI data center communications and industrial demand. Their revenue guide for Q1, this might be the issue, Neil, between $1.46 billion and $1.6 billion versus estimates of $1.55 billion. They're kind of in line here with the midpoint. They're guiding earnings between 93 cents and $1.13 per share versus 102 expected. Also in line revenue. In line EPS. So their guidance for Q1 really in line here, guys. Their gross margin actually nicely grew on a year-over-year basis for the current quarter. Gross margin was 38.1% versus 35.9% last year. So that's the deal there with COHR. Hopefully that was coherent. Again, if anyone has any questions, I will always, if there's any other earnings we missed or anything, hit me up and I will do my best.
Yeah, that's not too bad, but it's still a topping tail. Keep in mind here for Coherent, it is worth noting that this was up 250% plus from the April lows. So this is yet another case in this earnings season where it just doesn't matter if you're at the highs. They'll nitpick it, whatever the problem might be. Oh, we don't like what you're getting for this business sale. We're going to punk you a little bit. But let's not sleep on when you have a reversal like this, and if we close down here, if we open down underneath like a 114, 115 on Coherent, then you're losing the prior high, and that's a big-time reversal candle. And we just saw what happens when you have a stock that makes a reversal candle, cough, cough, Coreweave, because that was pretty nasty. And it's not that it always happens, but like that was a pretty nasty topping tail, and then Coreweave absolutely fall through. Not that Coherent will. I'm pretty sure most people would say that Coreweave is a little more overvalued than Coherent. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I kind of believe it's a little overvalued. Let's see. The price is certainly telling you that it is. Cisco's still trying to hold. It's battling. Cisco's battling here. Beat top bottom. The guide actually pretty good. The yearly guide was great. The quarterly guide was okay, but the yearly guide was actually great. The full year, $70, still a bit of a pipe dream for Cisco to get back up to the top. I wanted to address here because I see Sizzler Sniper mentioning Reggiti here. I'll read your chat. I'll read what you said here. Reggiti is going to be rug pulled big time if the mag starts selling off, guaranteed. And I think this is whether Reggiti does or not, who knows? But I don't disagree with this sentiment. The market's been driven again by this cluster that's been dragging us higher. And in terms of a risk-off sentiment thing, those start to go, right? There's a couple of spaces I think could be in trouble. When quantum's like a pipe dream thing, so that could just be a valuation pullback. That could be dangerous for Palantir. That could be dangerous for quantum. The energy names, the SMRs, the Oklos of the world, the GEV Vernovas, which I own, I think those are going to be in trouble if the Mag 7 start to pull back. So I agree with you on the sentiment. Why Reggiti specifically, who knows? But Reggiti did have that buy program at the end of the day, which eventually reverted. Hey, it held 17 bucks. Keep it on that price tomorrow morning, everybody. 17, early top. Buyers came in on that dip. It accelerated through 17. Didn't really matter on the way up, but it certainly was a big price, and it was a nice little prior high area on the daily. So day 2 plays matter. Day 3 plays can matter as well. Reggiti will be technically day 2 post earnings in tomorrow's trade. But the day 2 that I think most people are going to be excited about, Adara, not to get too far away from it, it's bullish. And every time I look at this chart, I just feel like we need to be renaming this thing.
Bearish.
Bearish.
Yeah.
Bearish, bearish, bearish. $68. So you're still up. It was a 37 issue. Opens at 90. Gets to $118. Not bad. And then all the way to 68 in the aftermarket. So the early investors still win. That being said, they probably wish they could sell, not have to deal with a lockup period, which is going to be coming up for Coreweave, by the way.
Yes.
Remember, mid to late September, I believe.
It's Thursday night, I checked.
Coreweave?
Someone mentioned it during the midday.
Not this week.
Oh, I didn't think it would be. Someone mentioned it during the midday. I fact-checked it as Thursday evening, which I was not expecting.
This week, Coreweave? I thought it was next month.
That is correct. I did check it. It's according to CNBC. And again, I'll check it again, but I did check it. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to let you know.
No, that's huge. That would easily explain why it was such a great short today.
It does seem early.
I thought it was next month. I was pretty sure it was next month. I do want to get to Roadrunner saying
again Thursday.
Roadrunner saying, why is Microsoft down? We only had one name report earnings today, and that was Cisco. So like in terms of sympathy plays, I don't know that anything is going to be a sympathy play directly. Like Microsoft's not down because of Cisco. I just think we got to the highs and we're looking a little weak off these highs. That's all it is. Microsoft, since gapping to the world off of their earnings and being a program buy going into earnings, it filled in the gap. And since it filled in the gap, lower high, fill the gap, lower high again. So it's on this trend post earnings where we got a bit of a flat bottom right here about 520, and we're just putting in lower highs. So what did it do? Put in another lower high and trended down for the day. This is just how it works. Sometimes you will just get profit taking when you're at the top. You will just get pullbacks. And to be honest, Microsoft had a huge quarter, and if you bought it after earnings, you've done nothing but lose on Microsoft. But that's not the game. The game's to buy quality companies and hold them for the long run. So, judge this thing in a few years. But I think we just got a little bit of a sell-off off those highs and a continuation since earnings over there on Microsoft. If it's Webull, please
Bumble
be good.
tanking.
Oh, Bumble.
BMBL offering shares here at $6.33 to $6.54 in a block. This is according to Bloomberg. So Bloomberg reporting, I guess, a Bumble share offering there. Neil, sorry to cut you off.
Dump it. Yeah, there's like I don't know. I've always joked that we should do like a pump it or dump it. You guys just throw symbols at us.
Can we
And then we
please?
give our absolute, and you have to answer without actually thinking about it or without actually looking at the chart, because you heard me just immediately say dump it for Bumble. Then I pulled up the chart. I was like, well, that's not so bad. But my first gut reaction was remembering the last time I looked at this chart, and you can probably tell the last time I looked at that chart was not in the last couple of months. So I kind of felt it was probably still in a downward trend. No, this broke the 50 and the 200 period. So my first initial reaction of dump it, might be true. It's back under the 50 and the 200 period. Yeah, this just lost both of them. Dump it as long as it holds underneath 660. That'll be a key price. So yeah, offering, not good. That being said, sometimes an offering, everybody, can be an interesting buying opportunity. right? Like, and you only want to just watch it the next day if you're really interested in the stock, and just check out the tape, especially early in the morning. It's similar to something it dumps on earnings. Sometimes you just see the buying right at 9:30, and you're like, oh, it made a bottom in the aftermarket, it held that bottom in the pre-market after an offering or after earnings, and then they hold that bottom at the open, and you just go for long. It's similar to how you're like, oh, you like the Coreweave short, you saw it pop and try to break the high, and it couldn't, and it fades. It's like a stock with bad news. Does the same thing, but in reverse. You're like, oh, it's been trending here, but look at it hold that low.
Yeah.
Take a shot off the low because it's gapped down. You know, you have to have these plays everywhere. That being said, I don't necessarily love this stock.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am not. I don't think I'm buzzing over there to Bumble. I'll say that. I was gonna. There was something I was going. Thank you for that. There was something I was gonna talk about, and then it completely slipped by. I don't think it was super important. But yeah, I mean, I will. Oh, someone's here asking about an AI conference in Vegas. I looked it up. I had not heard anything about it prior, and it ended today. So to that individual, I will let you know that conference is over, and I did not hear anything about it. I will say PPI, Neil, actually, we're expecting it to be hotter. So this could be a bit of a, I expect a Truth Social post around 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. And the reason I say that is because PPI year-over-year forecast, 2.5%. PPI month-over-month forecast, 0.2%. Core PPI year-over-year, 3% versus 2.6% previous. Core PPI month-over-month, 0.2% versus 0% previous. Now, we were expecting more or less no change for the CPI. We did get one print that was hotter than expected. All of these, Neil, we're expecting to be hotter than the previous. So I actually do not know how this is going to go. I expect a True Social post in our future. And by the way, I'm going to use a moment to plug TTV Research here, if I may. So I'm currently working on an infographic, just kind of tracking all of the times in the last year or so that Trump has mentioned public companies or CEOs of public companies on True Social. Yes, that includes the Elon Musk hubbub. So that'll be coming out very soon. I hope by tomorrow or certainly by Friday. Check that out on X at TTV Research. And if you have any ideas for any type of content that you want to see, just tag me in this chat and I will do my very best to see those. I'm constantly working on planning content. I've got a whole pipeline, so I'm always looking to see what the viewers want to see.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And actually, I was just answering Disneyland royalty in the chat saying this is what we're here for. We're here for the viewers. You got questions? If we have the answer, we'll give it to you. If we don't have the answer, we'll try to find it for you. We won't hesitate to feel like, I don't know what's going on here. Let's try to find out. I've never seen anything like this before. Maybe I'll ask someone around. We're just trying to all get better, everybody. That's what this community is all about here. Yeah. We absolutely love all of you. Just to sort of recap, I mean, look, really, we only had Cisco on the earnings play. Like, Cisco was the big name. Reporting time, we had a couple of other small ones there. You saw Coherent, which I'll go, CHR, we'll go to that in a quick little second. 68 still holding here. So not bad, not great, but, oh, it was, yeah, and again, everyone's going to be saying this pun, the bearish pun. Day two on this is going to be very interesting because we've had nothing but pump jobs when it comes to the bigger IPOs. Yeah. And none of them have been, like, it's like they'll go, like Coreweave went for multi-days and was like a quadruple up, triple up. You're like, yeah, it can't possibly do this. Circle, it can't possibly go a second time. This is distinctly different. This is our first one that's going to be bearish. I don't wonder, and we didn't say this in the show, I don't wonder if this might pump the brakes a little bit. Like, if this loses the bid tomorrow again and we see a 5 print, if I see a 5 handle on this thing tomorrow, somebody that's coming out with the next IPO is reconsidering. They're like, well, that wasn't so good. Yeah. Like, yeah, there was priced well enough that, I mean, again, like, there was some exuberance there. But if we see a 5 on this tomorrow, I think there's going to be a lot of scared people about that.
MSTR.
MSTR making moves as well. Remember, everybody, Bitcoin got pretty close to the all-time high today.
Oh,
very,
that's what
very
the post
close.
About.
Very close.
So Strategy announcing here that they hold $77.2 billion worth of Bitcoin, and it's at all-time highs. That's all it is. I want to talk here a little bit, if I may, on the IPO thing. So here's Figma. Neil, I would fully agree that the worst-looking IPO we've had so far is Bullish, but Figma almost gave you a little bit of a soupçon, a little bit of a taste. Did this close at high of day? Absolutely it did. Now, did it continue to make lower highs ever since? Absolutely. Day 2, we open and we tank. Day 3, we tank. Day 4, tankage. Only on day 5 do we get a bit of a relief and we actually close at highs again. So I think Figma almost gave you like a prelude for what we were going to see the following day. This is just my personal assessment. You can take that for what it is. My interpretation is that Figma was almost like, it was the little fig. It was the appetizer before this bullish meal.
Okay, Adara, before we get to the thing that we end things with, you take a second and rewind that. Was that French?
It was French.
Because look, here, I'm Canadian too. I was forced to learn French in school like we all are. I don't know what that meant. So what?
Oh, it's just like a little bit, like a soupçon, like a little bit, like un petit peu. My French is
Why
not
is your
perfect.
French so good?
Well, I'm Quebecois,
so bad.
right? Like my grandfather was from Quebec. My dad, actually, I speak more French than my dad, ironically, because he didn't want to learn French from his dad. So there's like a weird gap there but anyways, that is why I know a little bit of French. And I enjoy the language. I would read it off cereal boxes as a kid. So I taught myself a lot that way, taught myself a lot from watching international films. But yeah, that is, I know my French is okay.
You know what you guys don't know? There was a robot. It's not actually.
Okay, the whole Adara as an AI or a robot joke, it's funny. I do find it funny. I would like to confirm that I am not one, which is what a robot or an AI would say. So I'm gonna.
She's not one. That's exactly what a robot. That's exactly what AI would say. What's going on, huh? I'm just saying. You better believe it's a trap. Get it, Adara, as always. Oh my goodness, what the heck doesn't she do here? And then she does roll call as well. You've got to be kidding me. Look, it's been a wild show. Don't do those for me. None of those. First of all, half of those equations are nonsense. But anyways, that's another story. Look, it's been a wild show. It's going to be even better tomorrow because it always is. We got PPI. Obviously tomorrow, that's going to be a big deal. You saw the run in CPI. We're pretty much at this point guaranteed the rate cut. It's up at like 90. We hit 90. I thought I saw 96% at one point today, which a month out is crazy. Which is crazy because we still have time. It's not even, we're halfway through August. We have a full month to go.
I don't know if we're going to get it because I think the Fed is so divided right now.
This is what's so crazy. As a trader, I love the fact that we have what seems to be a disputed decision.
Much division.
Yet the market's pricing in certainty. That's great for trading. That's not actually good for anybody else.
No.
That's not a good thing. You want the Fed to be predictable. If we're expecting a cut, we get a cut. Not the surprises. That's not what business likes. It's not what the economy likes. But as a trader, it's fantastic. It's even better when the market's like that. But that's just how it is. Thank you, everybody. It's been an absolute wild one. You know what to do here if you've been following along. And if you don't, it's your first time here with the Market Recap Show, then we're about to have roll call. That means your name's going to get read in the chat, but only if you type something in the chat. Something like, get it, Adara. Adara's an AI. Thank you to Fabian. Thank you to Remain. Team Ram you could throw in there. I don't know, hashtag renovations, whatever you want to do. Make sure you hit subscribe in the chat so that you can put something in. Or shout out to Randy. I didn't know what he just yelled, but Randy just yelled something out pretty cool. Hashtag sawdust, Randy just said. So work's getting done, and it's all for you guys. So let's get some roll call right about now.
I actually just dropped hashtag sawdust in the chat, so shout out to Randy. Thank you to Randy. Thank you to Russell. Thank you to our whole construction team back there. Mark, Rob, Brendan's been running around with that as well. Thank you, Neil, Sean, Sharif, Joe. We've got Andre, Ramin, Fabian, and we have everyone in our awesome community. Danny Dollars, Hypercube. We've got Ian Rispetto, Bill's Camps. Ian Rispetto's asking for you to do the Unity.
Unity.
There we go. We've got Explorer. We've got Belch Melch, Bill's Camp, Damian Tarza, T2, Becky, Ryan O'Day, Tyler Smith, Favs SP, Big Joel, T Daddy, Shaolin. Oh, I love that name. We've got Smooth 1J. Stevenson Etienne, Heartbroken Biker, Grub, Sadchev, Havana Woody. We've got JST, Zimzimmy, Meyer, Ian Rispetto again, why not? GD Trader, Joshua, Crypt something. Oh, thank you as well to Larry earlier for the kind words. Thank you guys, everyone, for being here so much every single day. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you. And tomorrow, there will be more chaos in this market. There will be more Feds saying legitimately the opposite thing of one another and confusing us all. But you know what? That's what we love here because we're day traders and the volatility is the shizness.
Mic drop from our resident AI, Adara. Thank you so much. It's going to be a wild one tomorrow, but hey, What? It's the ultimate compliment.
It is. I do appreciate
the
that.
ultimate compliment.
I always get complimented too when Sharif does the human algo thing. I think it's a compliment.
true.
I just also think it's really funny.
She doesn't forget anything. Trust me, it's insane. But it's so true, and thank you so much. It's been a fun one, everybody. Tomorrow morning, 8:30, we do it live. We do it with PPI. We do it with Bullish Day 2, Cisco post earnings. It's Trader TV Live, brought to you by Beta Pro, by Globex. Rest up. See you in the morning.
See ya.